yet again. We are back live on YouTube. Sorry for the tech issues, everyone. But we are back. Part 2 of this stream. We'll see if we can get back to 100 likes. Le'Veon Bell or Miles Sanders. I would go Le'Veon Bell over Miles Sanders. I think he has too high of a ceiling. Kittle or Waller. I would lean towards Waller over Kittle. There's very few tight ends I'm playing over Kittle. It's Darren Waller, it's Mark Andrews, it's Travis Kelce. That's the end of the list. I'm nervous that if I don't start Lenny, J-Rob may not play. Yeah, I would be okay going Leonard Fournette over James Robinson. Guys, we're back live on YouTube. Sorry for the tech issues. I'm a one-man audio crew. Knew I shouldn't have messed with it, but I did. But we're back live on YouTube. What's up, dude? Whatever happened to all the applications to help you? Oh, Tanner, we actually did bring on 4 different people to help our social media team. They've been all crushing it. So we did bring on 4 people. It's fixed, Jake. That's good. We had to start a new stream, unfortunately. So we're starting from 0 on the likes, which is a little frustrating, Jake, but we're back on YouTube now. Hit that like button to help us out. If you're watching live on YouTube, we had to restart that stream because of audio issues. Kittle or Waller, I would lean towards Waller over Kittle. I would go Antonio Brown over Myles Gaskin for the ceiling. Antonio Brown's projected for 60 receiving yards today. You can trust him. Bucs defense or Panthers defense? I would lean towards the Bucs defense over the Panthers defense. James Robinson or Jeff Wilson? I would lean towards, again, if you think Jeff Wilson is playing, if you think James Robinson is playing, Ravi, you got to go James Robinson. But if you think that he's not going to play or he's going to be limited, then you got to go Jeff Wilson. It's all about what you think is going to happen with James Robinson. And again, guys, if you're watching live on YouTube, hit that like button. We had a stream earlier with 100 likes, had to restart it due to audio issues, unfortunately. Hurts or Wilson? I would lean towards Jalen Hurts over Russell Wilson. I think if you're asking me what I think with James Robinson, I do think he's going to play. I do think he could end up being somewhat limited, though. So I'd be okay going Jeff Wilson. Please answer, Chris Godwin or DJ Moore? I would go Chris Godwin over DJ Moore. Antonio Brown or Marvin Jones and Schultz or Gesicki? I would go with Marvin Jones over Antonio Brown, and I would go Gesicki over Schultz. Steelers D or Dolphins defense? I would lean towards the Dolphins defense. Guys, we had to restart our YouTube stream. Unfortunately, very frustrating. Hit that like button if you're just joining us on YouTube. We started a new stream, and we're trying to get to 2,500 YouTube subscribers today. We'll see if we can do it. J.K. Dobbins or David Johnson? I would lean towards J.K. Dobbins over David Johnson. You really wanted to be a part of the team, Tanner. I appreciate that. We will be probably hiring more people for next season as we continue to grow. Lockett or Dobbins in the flex? If you're going for upside and you played against Kamara, look no further than Tyler Lockett. He's the perfect upside play. Amari Cooper or Myles Gaskin? I would lean towards Amari Cooper over Myles Gaskin, but it's definitely close. We do like Myles Gaskin today, guys. He's the free prop pick of the day, over 50.5 rushing yards. He's gone over 60 total yards in every single game he's played this season. He's up against a Raiders defense that's allowed 7 different running backs over 55 rushing yards in their last 4 games. Tom Brady or Baker Mayfield? I would lean towards Tom Brady over Baker Mayfield. Wilson or Deshaun? I would go Deshaun. Swift or Gaskin? I would lean towards Swift. If you're watching live on YouTube, guys, hit that like button. We had to start a new YouTube stream because of audio issues. Very frustrating, but we'll see if we can get back to that 100 likes. Steelers defense or Dolphins defense? I would go Dolphins defense. Thomas or Kittle? I would lean towards Kittle. There is a free player prop pick today, Joey. The free prop pick is Myles Gaskin, over 50.5 rushing yards. Lock that one in. He's gone over 60 total yards in every single game he's played. He's up against a Raiders defense that's allowed over 55 rushing yards to 7 different running backs in their last 4 games. Russell Gage or Kiki QT? I would lean towards QT over Gage. Dobbins or Marvin Jones at flex? I would go Marvin Jones. Guys, hit that like button if you're watching live on YouTube. If you're watching live on TikTok and you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel yet, definitely hit that like and subscribe button over on YouTube. We're trying to get to 2,000. We're trying to get to 2,500 YouTube subscribers today. We will see if we can do it. Had some audio issues over on YouTube. That certainly did not help our odds. DJ Moore or Chris Godwin? I would go Chris Godwin over DJ Moore. In the finals, Kenyon Drake or Chris Carson? If Chase Edmonds does not play, you got to start Kenyon Drake over Chris Carson. If Chase Edmonds does play, I would go Chris Carson. Dolphins or Washington defense? Thanks for everything this season. Yeah, I would go Dolphins defense over Washington defense. I do like the Dolphins defense a lot today. Lockett, AB, or Higgins? I would probably go Antonio Brown there. J.K. Dobbins or Cooper Kupp? I lagged when you said Davis or Gio. I would go Giovanni Bernard over Mike Davis. Hurts or Herbert? I would go Hurts over Herbert. There's only 5 quarterbacks I'm starting over Jalen Hurts. It's Kyler Murray. It's Josh Allen. It's Aaron Rodgers. It is Patrick Mahomes. And it is Lamar Jackson. End of list. Jeff Wilson or Mike Davis or Myles Gaskin? I would lean towards Jeff Wilson, then Myles Gaskin, then Mike Davis. And if we look at Myles Gaskin, he's going to go over 50 rushing yards, probably going to go over 60 total yards like he has in every single game this season. Jeff Wilson's over-under is 64 rushing yards. So they're pretty similar options this week. I think Jeff Wilson has a slightly higher chance at a touchdown than Myles Gaskin. So I would go Jeff Wilson over Gaskin. Lamar Jackson over Kyler Murray for me, but both of them are fantastic options. Probably the two top quarterbacks this week, up there, top three with Patrick Mahomes. Cleveland or Chicago defense, I would lean towards the Cleveland defense over the Chicago defense. Keenan Allen or Robert Woods. I want nothing to do with Keenan Allen this week, guys. Bench Keenan Allen. Go with Robert Woods. And if you're watching live on YouTube, guys, hit that like button. We had a stream going. We had 100 likes, about 50 people tuned in. And unfortunately, I had some audio issues, so we had to restart the stream. So let's see if we can get back to 100 likes. And if you're watching live on TikTok and you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel yet, definitely go subscribe. We're trying to get to 2,500 YouTube subscribers today. Aaron Jones or Montgomery. I would lean towards Aaron Jones. You have to start Aaron Jones. With no Jamal Williams, Aaron Jones has maximum upside this week, guys. You got to love Aaron Jones in a smash spot. Well, at least the audio is fixed. Yeah, Matt, brutal, man. I really gets on my nerves, these audio issues. I definitely got to get that figured out, but glad that the audio is fixed at least. Not sure if it was worth it. I think I should have just stuck with the deep voice, but it's all right. Need a flex, PPR, Deontay Hunt, Bernard Henderson. I would lean towards Deontay Johnson over all of those guys. I think that Deontay Johnson has the most upside still, even with the Pittsburgh offense crumbling right before our eyes on national television. Robinson or Mike Davis this week. I would lean towards Robinson over Mike Davis. Bucks or Lions. I would lean towards the Bucks over the Lions. I mean, guys, the Bucks are big favorites today. They match up very well on offense with this Lions team. The Bucks team is a team that has struggled in primetime, but I do think that they are going to do very well on offense today. I think that the Lions offense could end up keeping up with them too. Yeah, definitely not worth it, but what are you going to do? Yeah, I'm never going to mess with the audio again. I played against Kamara in the championship. That's brutal, man. You already lost. Love your content. Thanks, man. You work really hard and deserve a lot of credit. Thanks, Mike. I appreciate that. Hey, Sam, the WalterPicks app just carried me to the chip. That's what I'm talking about, man. Le'Veon Bell or Beasley? Definitely Le'Veon Bell. To me, Le'Veon Bell has the maximum upside. He's going to be the clear starting running back. He is the reason. The situation that Le'Veon Bell is in is the reason why Clyde Edwards-Helaire was a first-round pick in fantasy football drafts. He's the clear number one running back on the best offense in the NFL. He's a good receiver. So all three of those things combined make Le'Veon Bell an absolute lock this week as a top 10 running back. So start Le'Veon Bell with confidence. And yes, we do have a free prop pick going today. It's Myles Gaskin, over 50.5 rushing yards. Lock that one in against a Raiders team that's allowed 55-plus rushing yards to 7 different running backs in the last 4 games this season. Davis or Pats running back one because of matchup. I would lean towards Davis. Dobbins or Jacobs. I would lean towards Jacobs over Dobbins. Amari Cooper or Marvin Jones. For me, it's Marvin Jones. Guys, hit that like button if you're watching live on YouTube. We had 100 likes just a few minutes ago on a different stream. Had to restart because of audio issues. Really would appreciate it if you hit that like button. See if we can get back to 100. Corey Davis or Giovanni Bernard. I would lean towards Corey Davis over Giovanni Bernard, but it's close. Bell or Swift. I like Le'Veon Bell just a little bit more than DeAndre Swift this week. Should I be worried about Ayuk with Kittle? No, I've seen a lot of this. You shouldn't be worried about Ayuk with George Kittle. Definitely not. Ayuk has gone over 70 receiving yards in 4 straight weeks. George Kittle is not going to steal that much away from Ayuk. You can still trust him. My favorite prop pick today, it's Myles Gaskin, over 50.5 rushing yards. He's gone over 60 total yards in every single game he's played in this season. He's up against the Raiders defense, allowing 7 different running backs in the last 4 games to go over 55 rushing yards. I'm starting Baker over Russ. Yeah, I think I agree with that, Baker over Russ. What are your thoughts on Aaron Jones? I think that Aaron Jones is a top 5 running back option this week. I love Aaron Jones. Without Jamal Williams, he's going to be on the field for at least 70% of the snaps. A.J. Dillon should be somewhat involved, but you got to love the upside for Aaron Jones this week. He's got to get into your starting lineups 100%. In the event that Robinson doesn't play, Hunt, Bernard, Henderson, PPR thoughts. I would probably lean towards Bernard over Kareem Hunt and over Henderson this week. Ayuk or Metcalf. I would go with Ayuk over Metcalf. Given their matchups, Ayuk is in a great matchup again this week. Ayuk has gone over 70 receiving yards in 4 consecutive weeks. You got to love Brandon Ayuk. And guys, we had a stream earlier with some audio issues. We had 100 likes. So if you're watching live on YouTube, hit that like button. Let's see if we can get back to 100 likes. If you're watching live on TikTok and you want to help us out over on YouTube, go subscribe, go like our live stream over there too. The chat on YouTube is a little less spammy, which is nice. So you can come join our YouTube stream. Can you trust Keenan Allen? No, Jonathan, you cannot trust Keenan Allen. Corey Davis, A.J. Brown, or Ayuk this week. I would lean towards A.J. Brown, then Ayuk, then Corey Davis. But Ayuk is the safest. Giovanni Bernard or Antonio Brown. Giovanni Bernard's safer. Antonio Brown, though, I would go with him because he has the higher ceiling. He's projected for 60 receiving yards this week. T. Higgins or Rashad Higgins. I would go with T. Higgins over Rashad Higgins this week. With no Tyler Boyd, T. Higgins is going to be the clear number one. App says Hunt over Bernard. Yeah, I do think that Kareem Hunt has a little bit more upside than Giovanni Bernard, but I would go Giovanni Bernard over Kareem Hunt. Morning, Sam. Good morning, Ben. Still like Ayuk with backup QB. Yeah, I still like Ayuk with the backup QB. I think Ayuk can still succeed in that offense. He's gone over 70 yards in 4 straight weeks. He's an absolute baller, and he's the clear wide receiver 1 on that team. Full PPR, McKissick, Fournette, or Amari Cooper. I would go with McKissick over. If Antonio Gibson does not play, it's McKissick. But if Antonio Gibson does play, then it's Fournette. So you got to decide, do you think Gibson is going to play? I think he is going to play. So if that is true, I would go with McKissick. And if you are having trouble with the YouTube stream, there's 2 YouTube streams. One of them is live right now. The other one we had to cut off because of audio issues. So definitely make sure you're on the right YouTube stream. We are live right now on YouTube. Pick 2 to start. David Johnson, Drake, or Bell. I would go with Kenyon Drake and Le'Veon Bell there if Chase Edmonds doesn't play. If Chase Edmonds does play, I would go David Johnson and Le'Veon Bell. But definitely get Le'Veon Bell in your lineup. Sammy Watkins or Keenan Allen. Ryan, this one's brutal because I don't trust Keenan Allen at all. But I don't trust Sammy Watkins either. I'd probably go Keenan Allen over Sammy Watkins. AB or Corey Davis. I would go with Antonio Brown over Corey Davis for the ceiling, but Corey Davis has the safer floor. So do you want the floor or do you want the ceiling? Personally, I shoot for the ceiling, so I would go Antonio Brown. Sanders or Gaskin? I would go Miles Sanders over Gaskin. Kyler Murray or Josh Allen? I think Kyler Murray's got the better floor and ceiling over Josh Allen just with his rushing volume. Even in a tough matchup, I would go with Kyler Murray. I think the top 2 quarterbacks in fantasy football this week are Lamar Jackson and Kyler Murray. Then it's Patrick Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers, and Josh Allen. Then it is Jalen Hurts. Those are the only 5 quarterbacks I'm starting over Jalen Hurts this week, guys. Hit that like button if you're watching live on YouTube. We had some audio issues on our first stream, so we had 100 likes earlier. We got to get back to 100 likes now, so hit that like button. Let's see if we can get to 50. Really do appreciate everyone that's tuned in. Hit that subscribe button too. If you're watching live on YouTube, trying to get to 2,500 YouTube subscribers today, TB12 or Jalen Hurts. QBs have been so good against the Lions. Yeah, I would go Hurts over TB12, but both should do really well. Kupp or Deontay? Tom Brady's over-under passing yards is like 320 today. I would go with Kupp over Deontay Johnson. If you can bench any part of that Steelers offense, you should, because the Steelers offense is crumbling right before our eyes. Thoughts on CeeDee Lamb? I think he's a pretty safe floor, but not too high of a ceiling. I would go Antonio Brown over Keenan Allen. I would go Antonio Brown over DK Metcalf. I would go J.K. Dobbins over Deontay Johnson. Curtis Samuel, Mike Williams, Kiki, Hansen, or Mooney at wide receiver 2. If Allen Robinson does not play, fire up Darnell Mooney with confidence up against the worst secondary in the NFL, the Jacksonville Jaguars. If Allen Robinson does play and Mike Williams plays, I would go with Mike Williams. If he's out, then I'd probably go Kiki. Moore or Bell? Definitely Bell for me. I like Le'Veon Bell a lot. I went against Kamara, then Henry, and now Cook in the playoffs. That's absolutely brutal. Mike Evans or Amari Cooper? I would lean towards Mike Evans over Amari Cooper. Jonathan Taylor or J.K. Dobbins? I would lean towards Jonathan Taylor over J.K. Dobbins, even in what should be a tough matchup. Pick 2, Taylor, Fournette, and Ayuk. I would lean towards Fournette and Ayuk. Marvin Jones or Keenan Allen. Bench Keenan Allen. In any situation that you can, bench Keenan Allen. I hate the name Alvin Kamara. Yeah, Alvin Kamara, one of the best fantasy games of all time. Top 10 fantasy performances of all time. 6 touchdowns. And he could have had 7, which is the crazy part. Sanders or Beasley? I would go Sanders over Beasley. Jeff Wilson or Gibson? I would lean towards Jeff Wilson over Gibson. And guys, if I can't get to your start sit question, I built an app. It spent over 400 hours building this app over 4 years. And that app can give you all the information you need to make your start decisions. It's called WalterPicks. It's in the iOS App Store. It uses artificial intelligence and machine learning. It simulates each week 10,000 times to give you accurate boom and bust probabilities, accurate projections, and matchup ratings for every single player in fantasy football. So go use that. I give everyone 30 free start sit comparisons. It's free to download to make your start sit decisions for your finals. Mike Williams or T.Y. Hilton or T. Higgins? I would probably lean T. Higgins over Mike Williams and T.Y. Hilton this week. T. Higgins has a really safe floor with no Tyler Boyd. Noah Fant or Eric Ebron? I would lean towards Fant over Ebron. Higgins, AB, Lamb. I would go Higgins and AB. Between Dobbins, Bernard, and Hunt, who would you take? I would rank them in that order. Jason, Dobbins, then Bernard, then Hunt. Mike Evans or Ayuk? Oh, it's close, Lucas. I think Mike Evans is a safer bet than Ayuk this week. With the backup quarterback for the 49ers, I think Evans, against this Lions secondary that really hasn't stopped anyone, Evans is pretty safe. Miles Sanders or Fournette? I would lean towards Sanders over Fournette. Is there a chance Derrick Henry scores 6 touchdowns? Probably not. I don't know if we'll see any running back score 6 touchdowns again this season. For PPR, Logan Thomas or TJ, I would go Logan Thomas. Guys, here's my tight end rankings this week. Travis Kelce, obviously number 1. Darren Waller's number 2. Mark Andrews is number 3. George Kittle's number 4. He's going to be number 2 next week if he looks fully healthy. And at number 5 is Logan Thomas, who went over 100 yards last week, and he led the team in targets. No Terry McLaurin this week. He's going to lead the team in targets again. Kittle or Gaskin in my flex. I would go Gaskin. I hate starting tight ends in my flex. I went against Kamara, then Henry, now Cook. Yeah, that's insane. T. Higgins or Devontae Parker. I would lean towards T. Higgins over Devontae Parker. Robinson or Godwin. I would go with Godwin over Robinson. I would go Fournette over Jameson and Lee Crowder. I would go with Robinson. I would go with Godwin over Robinson. Do you like Jeff Wilson? Yeah, I do like Jeff Wilson. He's one of our DraftKings favorites today. Jeff Wilson's going to lead that backfield in touches. He's probably going to score at least 1 touchdown, and he's projected for 63 rushing yards. So you got to like him a lot. What's your line with Keenan Allen? If I look at my line, if we're looking at the line for Keenan Allen, to me, the line for Keenan Allen is wide receiver 3, because if I have a guy like Corey Davis, I'm starting him over Keenan Allen. If I have a guy, for me, probably the line is like T. Higgins. I think there's a strong case to start T. Higgins over Keenan Allen, but that's probably the line. Anything worse than T. Higgins, like a Sammy Watkins, I'm not starting over Keenan Allen. Thoughts on Pollard? Pollard has been more efficient than Ezekiel Elliott over the last month, but he's probably going to get out-touched and out-snapped by Zeke when Zeke returns this week. So I'm out on Tony Pollard this week. Should I bench DK this week in the championship? Depends who you're benching him over, of course, but you got to consider it against Jalen Ramsey. Juju or Corey Davis? I would go with Corey Davis over Juju. Yo, Sam, made the finals every year since I started doing fantasy. Very impressive. McKissick or Gibson? I would go. I think WalterPicks in the WalterPicks app, Walter has McKissick projected ahead of Antonio Gibson because of what it's projecting him for his receiving role with Terry McLaurin out as well. I think McKissick's going to take it over Antonio Gibson if Gibson plays. Thoughts on Chris Carson? Yeah, Chris Carson's a back-end running back 1 or high-end running back 2 in that offense, but he has a tough matchup this week. Russell Gage or Jalen Reagor? Definitely Gage over Reagor. It's tough to trust any of those passing weapons for the Philadelphia Eagles. And guys, if you're watching live on YouTube, hit that like button. We had a stream with 100 likes earlier this morning, but I had some audio issues, so we had to restart. So hit that like button and see if we can get back to 100 likes. Steelers or Colts? Definitely the Colts are going to beat the Steelers. The Steelers are crumbling right before our eyes. Josh Allen or Tom Brady? I would go Josh Allen over Tom Brady. Allen Robinson or Mike Evans? I would lean towards Mike Evans with the injury for Allen Robinson. We're not even sure he's going to play. Who do you think played better, Burrow or Herbert? I think it was Burrow, but we'll see. I think it was Burrow, but we will see over time if it's Burrow or Herbert. Keenan Allen and Marvin Jones are close in the app. Who am I taking? It's definitely Marvin Jones. I want nothing to do with Keenan Allen, guys. He looked right into the camera last week and said, "Start me," when he clearly wasn't 100%. He didn't even play half the snaps for the Chargers last week. I'm definitely going Marvin Jones over Keenan Allen. And if Keenan Allen ends up playing, I think you can't beat yourself up over benching Keenan Allen after what happened last week. AB, Davis, or Le'Veon? I love Le'Veon Bell this week, guys. He's a starting running back. He's a great receiver in the best offense in the NFL. So fire up Le'Veon Bell with confidence as a top 10 running back. Miles Sanders or Jonathan Taylor? I would go with Miles Sanders over Jonathan Taylor. What are you doing during the offseason? Well, we're going to have an NBA product in the WalterPicks app. It's going to help you dominate DFS on DraftKings and FanDuel, and we're going to have NBA player props coming out very soon. I've been building that algorithm out over the last couple of years using the same process that we use for the NFL. And aside from doing NBA, we're going to be working nonstop to get everything ready to have the best possible fantasy football season next year. Dobbins or Bell? I would lean towards Bell over Dobbins. Kupp, Gordon, or Samuel? I would lean towards Melvin Gordon over Cooper Kupp and Samuel. Melvin Gordon's a very, very safe option this week. Taylor or Ayuk? I would argue Ayuk is the better option over Jonathan Taylor. Kittle or Thomas? I like Kittle a little bit more than Thomas. Sanders or Ayuk? Yeah, again, I would go Ayuk over Sanders. Deontay Johnson or Keenan Allen? I would lean towards Deontay Johnson. I want nothing to do with Keenan Allen. I would go Antonio Brown over Keenan Allen as well. Jeff Wilson or Russell Gage? Yeah, I would go Jeff Wilson over Russell Gage. TJ Hawkinson or Logan Thomas? I would go Logan Thomas over TJ Hawkinson. And again, if you need help with your start-sit decisions, go download the WalterPicks app on the iOS App Store completely free. It'll give you all the information you need for your start-sit decisions. The NBA features will be available on the app within the first 2 weeks of 2021, probably the latest January 14th. So before the end of the NFL season. Godwin or Landry this week? I would go Godwin over Landry. I would probably go Godwin over Swift, but it's definitely close, Tyler. Dobbins or Fournette. I would lean towards Dobbins over Fournette, but it's close. It's definitely close, Spencer. And they're similar options to me. Probably the difference, Spencer, is that Fournette has less competition than J.K. Dobbins for carries. So maybe I just talked myself into going Fournette over J.K. Dobbins. Dobbins has a pretty good floor, but he has a lower probability of a touchdown than Leonard Fournette, given that Lamar Jackson or Gus Edwards could easily steal that goal line carry from him. So I would probably lean towards Leonard Fournette over J.K. Dobbins. I just talked myself out of it. Leonard Fournette over J.K. Dobbins this week. Le'Veon Bell over Chris Carson, guys. Le'Veon Bell is the number one running back. He's going to play over 60% of the snaps for the best offense in the NFL. He's a good receiver. What else do you need to know? Le'Veon Bell is a top 10 running back. Yeah, I don't see the Steelers making it out of the second round of the playoffs either. Kupp or Tunyon? I would go with Kupp over Tunyon for sure. I hate starting tight ends in my flex. And if you're watching live on YouTube, guys, hit that like button. Let's see if we can get to 50 likes. I had a stream that we had to restart the stream because of audio issues. So hit that like button if you can. Can we trust Swift against Tampa Bay defense? Yeah, I still think you can trust DeAndre Swift. Thanks for liking, Jackson. Tom Brady or Jalen Hurts? It's Jalen Hurts. There's only 5 quarterbacks I'm starting over Jalen Hurts. Those are Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Aaron Rodgers, Kyler Murray, and Patrick Mahomes. End of list. Those are the only 5 guys I'd be starting over Jalen Hurts this weekend. We're 5 likes away from 50 likes on YouTube stream, guys. Hit that like button. And if you're watching live on TikTok, come join us on YouTube. Hit that subscribe button over on YouTube. We're trying to hit 2,500 YouTube subscribers today. Should I start DK Metcalf? He's definitely at an increased risk this week going up against Jalen Ramsey, but I do still think you can start him. Aaron Rodgers or Kyler Murray? I would go Kyler Murray over Aaron Rodgers. Kyler Murray, with his rushing ability, has a tremendous, tremendous floor and ceiling. Swift, Allen Robinson, Gibson. I would go Swift. Allen Robinson and Gibson dealing with injuries. I would go Swift. A.J. Brown, Taylor, or Godwin. I would probably rank them as A.J. Brown number 1, Godwin number 2, then Taylor number 3. Kupp or Juju. I would lean towards Cooper Kupp over Juju. Again, if you can bench anyone in that Steelers offense, you probably should. The whole offense is crumbling right before our eyes. Voice of reason. Thanks for hitting that like, guys. We're 4 likes away from 50 likes on YouTube. Hit that like button. Really does help me out a ton. Takes you 2 seconds. I would go Ayuk over Gaskin, but we love Myles Gaskin's. We love Myles Gaskin's floor today, guys. Myles Gaskin, the free prop pick of the day is Myles Gaskin over 50.5 rushing yards. He's going to go over 50.5 rushing yards today. He's gone over 60 total yards in every single game that he's played this season. He's up against a Raiders defense that's allowed 7 different running backs to go over 55 rushing yards in their last 4 weeks. So fire up Myles Gaskin over 50.5 rushing yards with confidence today. Cole Beasley, George Kittle, and Logan Thomas. I would lean towards George Kittle over Logan Thomas, but I like Cole Beasley more than both of them. Again, I don't like starting tight ends in my flex slot. Guys, we're 1 like away from 50 likes. Who's going to be that 50th like? Jeff Wilson or David Johnson? I would lean towards David Johnson over Jeff Wilson. With how much receiving work he got last week, you got to love him in a PPR league. And there we are, 50 likes. Let's go halfway to where we were in our previous stream. Let's see if we can get to 100 now. We're trying to get to 2,500 YouTube subscribers today. I woke up this morning at 4:30, finishing my NFL research, rewatching every game from the past week, and I said we got to get to 2,500 YouTube subscribers today. And we're getting close. Someone on YouTube can let me know what we're at. But if you hit that subscribe button, you're helping us reach our goal. I'm scared about Tyreek Hill. Never be scared about Tyreek Hill. Best PPR wide receivers. It's DeAndre Hopkins, it's Devontae Adams, it's Tyreek Hill. Brandon Ayuk or Miles Sanders. Thanks, Sam. I would go with Sanders over Ayuk this week just because of the quarterback situation for the 49ers. Mike Davis or Melvin Gordon. Definitely Melvin Gordon. Robinson, Jacobs, or Mike Davis. I would lean towards Jacobs over Robinson and over Mike Davis. Juju or Robbie Anderson. I would lean towards Robbie Anderson over Juju. I think you got to bench the Steelers offense when you have the chance to bench them. Start 2, Jeff Wilson, Chris Carson, Le'Veon Bell. I would personally be leaning Chris Carson and Le'Veon Bell. I think you've got to go with Le'Veon Bell. Washington D or Miami D? App says football. Yeah, I would lean towards the Washington football team as well. I like both of them though. Fournette or Gaskin? I would lean towards Fournette over Gaskin, but it's definitely close. DK Metcalf, A.J. Brown, Corey Davis, Robert Woods, pick 2. I would lean towards A.J. Brown and Robert Woods out of all of those players. Well, I think those are going to give you the highest floor and upside. That's A.J. Brown and Robert Woods. Guys, there's some very intriguing games today. We got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers going up against the Detroit Lions. That's the first game of the day. It should be an extremely high scoring game. The over-under is the highest of the day. The 54.5 over under. They're probably going to hit that over. The Bucs are 10-point favorites or 9-point favorites, depending on your sports book. I think that the Bucs are going to handle them in this game. Tom Brady's over under 320 passing yards. You can really trust Chris Godwin, Mike Evans, and Antonio Brown in this game. All of them probably going to go over 60 receiving yards. And Leonard Fournette also should benefit from being a 10-point favorite in this game. So you can like Leonard Fournette today. And he has a pretty good probability of a touchdown. They're saying he has a 59% chance of scoring a touchdown today. That's pretty high. He has the highest touchdown probability in that game. So you got to like Leonard Fournette's odds of scoring a touchdown. And I really do like Chris Godwin, Antonio Brown, and Mike Evans today as well. But on the other side of the ball, Marvin Jones is probably my favorite player. He's top 3 in the NFL in air yards over the last month. So you can fire up Marvin Jones with confidence as well. And if you're watching live on YouTube, guys, hit that like button. It really does help us out. T. Higgins, Aguilar, or Drake, rank them. I would go the opposite ranking order. I would say Drake, then Aguilar, then T. Higgins. Gaskin or Ayuk. I would go Ayuk over Gaskin. Even though we know Gaskin's going over 50.5 rushing yards, I would still go Ayuk, who's gotten over 70 receiving yards in 5 consecutive games now. Myers or Lamb. I would lean towards Myers over Lamb. Cole Beasley or Antonio Brown. I would go Antonio Brown. I like Andrews more than Kittle. The only 3 tight ends I'm starting over Kittle. Andrews, Travis Kelce, and Darren Waller. That's it. Those are the only 3 tight ends I'm starting over Kittle. Godwin or Ayuk. I would go Godwin. Yo. Is Fournette startable over Allen Robinson? Yes, he is startable over Allen Robinson. Yo, Sam, Woods or Josh Jacobs at flex? I would lean towards Josh Jacobs, who saw over 25 touches last week. You got to love what Josh Jacobs did last week, and he's going to be the focal point of that offense again. I think you can go Josh Jacobs over Robert Woods, but both are pretty good options this week. And guys, if you're watching live on YouTube, hit that like button. Really does help me out. Hit that subscribe button too if you haven't subscribed yet. The free prop pick of the day, by the way, 50 is Myles Gaskin, over 50.5 rushing yards. Lock that one in. He's gone over 60 total yards in every single game this season. He's up against a Raiders defense that's allowed 7 different running backs to go over 55 rushing yards in their last 4 weeks. Pick 3 of full PPR. Jacobs, Swift, Dobbins, Gaskin. I would rank them in that order, man. I would go Jacobs, Swift, and Dobbins. Marvin Jones, Kenyon Drake, or Landry. I would go with Marvin Jones unless Chase Edmonds doesn't play. If Chase Edmonds doesn't play, you got to love Kenyon Drake. Antonio Gibson or Tony Pollard. I'd go Gibson if he plays. Thoughts on Jacobs? Yeah, Jacobs is one of the safest running backs in all of fantasy football with his volume. I think he's a really high likelihood for a touchdown. Ayuk or Antonio Brown. I would lean towards Ayuk over Antonio Brown, but it's definitely close. Tom Brady or Jalen Hurts. There's only 5 quarterbacks I'm starting over Jalen Hurts. Tom Brady is not one of those quarterbacks. Chris Carson or Le'Veon Bell. I like Le'Veon Bell more than Chris Carson. Is the YouTube chat working? Yes, the YouTube chat is working. We are live on YouTube and TikTok right now. Hit that like button if you're watching live on YouTube. See if we can get back to 100 likes. I had a stream earlier that we had to restart the stream because of audio issues, unfortunately. Rodgers or Hurts. I would go Rodgers over Hurts. The 5 quarterbacks I'm starting over Jalen Hurts. Aaron Rodgers, Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, Kyler Murray, and Lamar Jackson. End of list. That is it. Good morning, Jake. Pick 3, Gaskin, Drake, Lockett, Robbie, Gage. I would go Kenny Drake, Myles Gaskin, and Tyler Lockett out of those guys. Sam, how was your Christmas? It was fantastic, man. And I woke up this morning, the day after Christmas, at 4:30 in the morning, getting back on the grind, getting back and catching up on some of the NFL games. I rewatch every NFL game at least once. And when I was going through that process this morning, I said, we got to hit 2,500 YouTube subscribers today. We got to do that on the stream today. So we're getting closer. We got about an hour and a half left of this stream. So hit that like button, hit that subscribe button to help us reach that goal today over on YouTube. Kittle at flex. It depends who you're starting him over, but I don't like starting tight ends at flex. The only 3 tight ends I'd start over him, by the way, are Mark Andrews, Darren Waller, and Travis Kelce. That is it. Thoughts on TJ Hawkinson? Yeah, he's a top 10 tight end in fantasy football. How do you feel about Gesicki today? I think Gesicki is he's also a top 10 tight end, but he's definitely a lower end top 10 tight end. I'd make him 7 to 10 probably. We will see how he connects. The problem with Gesicki is that the other tight ends in the offense are always very involved as well. So you never know which one of them is going to score the touchdown. Do you think James Robinson will play this week? I do think he's going to play. I would go Le'Veon Bell over Melvin Gordon, but Melvin Gordon's definitely safer with no Phillip Lindsay out. And guys, the free prop pick of the day is Myles Gaskin, over 50.5 rushing yards. Lock that one in. It is an absolute lock today. Feeling very good about that one. How do you feel about Logan Thomas over Andrews? I would not be starting Logan Thomas over Andrews, but you can argue he's a safer floor because Logan Thomas led that team in receiving and targets last week. No Terry McLaurin this week. He's probably going to do it again. You wouldn't start Logan Thomas over Kittle with no McLaurin? No. I would still start Kittle over Logan Thomas. Corey Davis or Gaskin? I would lean towards I would lean towards Corey Davis over Gaskin, even though we know Gaskin's going over 50.5 rushing yards today. He is not as safe as a guy like Corey Davis. Thoughts on Gronk? Yeah, Gronk has been a little inconsistent of late. He was actually a top 5 fantasy football tight end for a pretty good stretch this season, but he has a pretty high likelihood of a touchdown today as well. Again, Tom Brady projected for 320 passing yards today. You got to like all of the passing weapons for the Bucs offense today. But I would be going Jalen Hurts over Tom Brady. That tells you everything you need to know about what I think about Jalen Hurts in fantasy, giving his rushing floor and ceiling. There's very few quarterbacks, only 5 quarterbacks I would be starting over Jalen Hurts this week. Cooks or Kittle at flex, I would go Cooks. Rams upset. I like the defense against Seattle. What do you think? Yeah, I do like the defense. Seattle has really limited their offense's passing attack over the last month, and that is good for the Rams defense. Jonathan Taylor or Chris Carson? I would lean towards Chris Carson over Jonathan Taylor this week. Bucs defense or Miami defense? I would lean towards Miami defense over Bucs defense today. Guys, we're 1 like away from 60 likes on this YouTube stream. Hit that like button if you want to help us out. It takes you 2 seconds. Helps me out way more than you realize. Brady or Herbert? I would go Brady over Herbert. Again, Brady's projected 320 passing yards and 3 touchdowns today. There's a lot to like about Tom Brady in this game today against the Lions team that's allowing top 5 fantasy points per game to quarterbacks this season, top 5 fantasy points per game to wide receivers this season. There's a lot to like about this Bucs offense. A.J. Brown or Fournette? I would go A.J. Brown. Pick 2, Cooks, Lockett. Cooks, Lockett, or Moore. I would go Cooks and Lockett there. Hawkinson or Andrews? Definitely Andrews. Zeke or Bell? Guys, get Ezekiel Elliott as far away from your starting lineups as you possibly can. Definitely Le'Veon Bell over Ezekiel Elliott. Hit that like. Yeah, guys, hit that like button if you're watching live on YouTube. If you're on TikTok and you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel yet, I don't know what you're waiting for because we're having a great time over on YouTube. The chat's a little less spammy. We're posting weekly longer form content on YouTube as well. So definitely go subscribe to our YouTube channel if you haven't yet. Gaskin or Wilson? I would lean towards Jeff Wilson over Gaskin. Jeff Wilson is projected for 65 rushing yards today, I believe, and Gaskin's just below that. So I think that both are really similar options. Gaskin has the better matchup, but Jeff Wilson, to me, is you can project him for more touches. Martin, good to see you, man. Corey Davis, A.J. Brown, Marvin Jones. Yeah, I would go A.J. Brown and Marvin Jones there. Thoughts on Zeke, Lynn Bowden, and Old Man Gore? Yeah, you can't be putting Frank Gore in your fantasy lineups, and you can't be putting Zeke in your fantasy lineups either. So I'd probably go Lynn Bowden, honestly. But you could definitely make the argument that Ezekiel Elliott's giving you the most upside and floor out of those guys, Ben. But Lynn Bowden, to me, I want Zeke as far away from my starting lineups as I can. Cardinals -4.5. Yeah, I think the Cardinals are going to handle business today. They're only 4.5-point favorites against a backup quarterback, and a healthy Kyler Murray is looking like he is fully healed from his injury earlier this season. He's looking like a top 3 quarterback in the NFL right now. So yeah, I do like the Arizona Cardinals if I was betting on any game today. And again, I only bet on player prop bets because I've had over 65% accuracy on over 200 bets, positive ROI on the last 200 picks, it's dating back to 2019. So I only bet on player prop picks. But if I were to bet on a game today, it would be the Arizona Cardinals -4.5. I think they're going to beat the 49ers by more than 4.5 today. And I think we're going to see Kyler Murray put on a great, great game. Thanks for the advice. Yeah, I got you, Ben. Appreciate you tuning in. Ayuk or Beasley? I would go Ayuk over Beasley, even with the backup quarterback. I like Ayuk a little bit more than Beasley. I think DeAndre Hopkins is going to clear his prop over 83 receiving yards today. Where would you put Kenyon Drake compared to most starters if Chase Edmonds does not play? Yeah, Kenyon Drake is a top 12 running back in fantasy football. If Chase Edmonds is out, Kenyon Drake is a must-start running back in fantasy football, and we're still waiting the official confirmation. That game is not until later in the day, so we might not know until right before 90 minutes before the game. But if Chase Edmonds is out, Kenyon Drake, top 12 running back this week. Pick 2, Carson, Jonathan Taylor, or Gibson. I would go those first 2, Carson and Jonathan Taylor. Baker or Lamar? Definitely Lamar Jackson. You can't be benching Lamar Jackson, guys. You just cannot be benching him. And hit that like button. Let's get to 65 likes on this stream. Really do appreciate everyone that's tuned in. Thoughts on Glass and Paperman being out again, a.k.a. Julio Jones. Yeah, Julio Jones has struggled with a lot of injuries this season, and there's been a lot of older players struggling with injuries. We've seen Julio Jones struggle with injuries. We saw A.J. Green start the season extremely slow. He looks a shell of himself. Alshon Jeffrey, not in his normal form. We also have seen a lot of running backs. David Johnson bust this season. There's a bunch of Todd Gurley, the marquee example. The age curve is very real in the NFL. Hurts or Josh Allen? I would go with Josh Allen. There's only 5 quarterbacks I'm starting over Jalen Hurts. It's Josh Allen, it's Aaron Rodgers, it's Lamar Jackson. It is Patrick Mahomes, and it is Kyler Murray. End of list. Josh Allen or Matt Stafford? Definitely Josh Allen. Cardinals or Colts defense? I would go Colts defense. I'm all in on the Steelers just being absolutely atrocious now. So the Colts defense is going to do very well. And if you can bench anyone on that Steelers offense, you probably should do that. I do think that's a good thing to be doing. Ayuk or Woods? I would lean towards Woods over Ayuk, given this backup quarterback situation. Gaskin or Jeff Wilson? I like Jeff Wilson just a little bit more than Gaskin, but if you're betting on player props, look no further than Myles Gaskin, over 50.5 rushing yards. Lock that one in, guys. He's gone over 60 total yards in every game he's played this season, and he's up against a Raiders defense that has allowed 7 different running backs to go over 55 rushing yards in their last 4 games. 7 running backs in their last 4 games have gone over 55 rushing yards. That's the Raiders defense. Watson or Justin Herbert? I would go with Watson over Justin Herbert. Tyreek Hill definitely over DK Metcalf. Thoughts on Lockett? Yeah, Tyler Lockett's due, guys. Every 4 weeks, it seems, Tyler Lockett has a huge game. It's been 4 weeks since his last blow-up game, so don't be surprised if Tyler Lockett goes absolutely off. DJ Moore, Deontay Johnson. I would lean towards DJ Moore over Deontay Johnson. I would go Marvin Jones over Deontay Johnson. I would go Jalen Hurts over Tom Brady, even though Brady's projected for 320 passing yards and 3 touchdowns today. Jalen Hurts' rushing volume gives him a greater floor and ceiling than Tom Brady. And the Cowboys struggle to stop the run. It's a fantastic matchup for Jalen Hurts. So you got to like where Jalen Hurts is this week. And I would be playing him over Tom Brady, but they're very close in our rankings. I think Tom Brady comes in at number 7 and Jalen Hurts comes in at number 6. Gaskin or Allen? I would go with Gaskin over Keenan Allen. I want Keenan Allen as far away from my starting lineup as possible. Guys, hit that like button if you're watching live on YouTube. And if you're watching live on YouTube, hit that subscribe button as well. Let's see if we can get to 70 likes. We're only 4 likes away. Who's going to be that 70th like? Really do appreciate it. If you're watching live on TikTok, definitely go subscribe to our YouTube channel. Yeah, we're trying to pass 2,500 YouTube subscribers today. Hurts or Herbert? I would go Hurts. Again, the only 5 quarterbacks I'm starting over Jalen Hurts are Aaron Rodgers, Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, Kyler Murray, and Lamar Jackson. End of list. Is Mike Williams a good start? No, that's not the word I would use. Good is not the word I would use with Mike Williams or Keenan Allen, both struggling with injuries. Yeah, we're trying to hit 70 likes. Hit that like button. We're only 3 likes away from 70 likes on YouTube. Who's going to be our 70th like? Projections for Godwin. I think Godwin's going to go for 75 receiving yards and a touchdown today. Bell or Corey Davis? I like Le'Veon Bell more than Corey Davis. Le'Veon Bell is a fantastic option this week. Running back 1. He's the number 1 running back for the best offense in the NFL. There's a lot to like with Le'Veon Bell this week. He's a great receiver. He's going to play over 65% of the snaps for the best offense in the league. So yes, fire up Le'Veon Bell with confidence today, guys. Who's going to be our 70th like? We're 1 like away. Hit that like on YouTube to hit 70 likes. Really would appreciate it. Helps me out a ton, more than you probably realize, hitting that like button. Thoughts on Devontae Parker? Yeah, I'm interested to see Devontae Parker back out there. There we go, over 70 likes. That's what I'm talking about. Let's see if we can get to 75. Devontae Parker is the clear wide receiver 1, back and healthy this week for the Dolphins. But Tua, it's going to be interesting to see how much Tua goes to him. I think Devontae Parker's a wide receiver 2 this week, though, with a pretty safe floor. Baker or Wilson? I would go Baker over Wilson. Lynn Bowden or Kalen Ballage? I would go Bowden over Kalen Ballage. That's a deep league one. Guys, we're 3 likes away from 75 likes. Hit that like button. Really do appreciate it. Cardinals or Colts defense? I would go Colts defense over Cardinals defense. Thoughts on Kittle? Yeah, there's only 3 tight ends I'm starting over George Kittle this week. The only 3 tight ends I'm starting over George Kittle this week. It's Travis Kelce, it's Mark Andrews, it's Darren Waller. End of list. Then Logan Thomas comes right after George Kittle. And you can argue Logan Thomas has a safer floor. No Terry McLaurin. He led that team in receiving last week. I mean, Logan Thomas is probably going to see 10 targets. And so he has a safe floor. But George Kittle, the only guys I would start over him are Mark Andrews, Darren Waller, and of course Travis Kelce. Baker or Tannehill? I would go Tannehill over Baker. I would go Tannehill over Baker Mayfield. Lynn Bowden, Darrell Henderson, or Jeff Wilson? Definitely Jeff Wilson. That's not even close. And there we go. 75 likes on the YouTube stream. Really do appreciate that. Let's see if we can get back to 100. I had to restart my stream about 40 minutes ago because of audio issues. One of my least favorite things in the world is audio issues. So we had 100 likes about 40 minutes ago. We're trying to get back there. Is Bell a safer start than Gordon? Yes, I think Le'Veon Bell has a higher ceiling than Melvin Gordon, but Melvin Gordon to me is safer. I feel like the Washington football team 7-6 in the championship. One of the NFC East teams, I've been saying this all season, it's going to be so annoying when one of these NFC East teams ends up winning a playoff game. And it's not going to surprise me at all if one of them ends up winning a playoff game. Why Lamar over Hurts? Because Lamar Jackson's rushing ability and passing ability has been in full form, guys. Lamar Jackson looks like 2019 form of Lamar over the last few weeks. I know he played a bag Jaguar secondary last week. We nailed his prop, by the way, over 1.5 passing touchdowns. That was easy money. Today's easy money is Myles Gaskin over 50.5 rushing yards. But Lamar Jackson, you can't bench him. With how he's been playing over the last couple of weeks, he's the number one quarterback in fantasy. You got to be trusting him over Jalen Hurts, even though Jalen Hurts is like a slightly worse version of Lamar Jackson right now. Rashad Higgins or Lamb? I would go with Higgins over Lamb. Brandon Ayuk, Marvin Jones, or Jarvis Landry? Which wide receivers? I would rank those guys as Marvin Jones number 1, Ayuk number 2, and Landry number 3. Is DK a safe start? Safe is not the word I would use up against Jalen Ramsey, but I do think you can still start him. Guys, we're 3 likes away from 80 likes on this YouTube stream. Hit that like button. Really does help me out a ton, more than you probably realize. Hurts or Patrick Mahomes? There's 5 quarterbacks I'm starting over Jalen Hurts. It is Patrick Mahomes, it is Kyler Murray, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, and Aaron Rodgers. End of list. All 5 of those guys you got to start. After that, then we can start talking about starting Jalen Hurts. We're 1 like away from 80 likes, guys. Who's going to be our 80th like on this stream? Really do appreciate it. And again, if I was betting on any of the games today, the only thing I bet on is player props. We have 3 exploitable player props in the WalterPicks app today on the iOS App Store. We're giving you one for free right now. It's Myles Gaskin, over 50.5 rushing yards. He's gone over 60 total yards in every game this season. He's up against a Raiders defense that's allowed over 55 rushing yards to 7 different running backs in their last 4 games. But if I was betting on any of the games, it would definitely be the Arizona Cardinals -4 against a backup quarterback and Kyler Murray looking fully healthy. There's a lot to like about the Arizona Cardinals -4.5 I'm seeing now. I do like the Arizona Cardinals. I also like DeAndre Hopkins to do very well today. He's over under 83 yards. We have him projected for a 90. John Brown or Brandon Cooks PPR? I would go with Brandon Cooks over John Brown. Gaskin or Robbie? I would go with Gaskin over Robbie Anderson. Gaskin's safer than Robbie Anderson's really put up a dud. Robbie Anderson was a top 10 wide receiver in fantasy football for like the first 2 months of the season. He's really, really cooled off. I would go Gaskin over Robbie Anderson. Guys, we're almost at 100 likes again. Hit that like button. Let's get to 90 likes on this YouTube stream. I woke up at 4:30 this morning to finish my fantasy football research, rewatching every NFL game from the previous week like I do every single week. I had to wake up early this morning because I took the day off for Christmas yesterday. And when I was watching those games, it occurred to me just how bad this Raiders run defense is, guys. The Myles Gaskin's going over 50.5 rushing yards. Lock that one in. I've done the research. He's gone over 60 total yards every single game he's played in this season. The Raiders are going to let up multiple 50-plus rushers today. Probably Ahmed and Gaskin rushing over 55 yards today. Le'Veon Bell, Lockett, Ayuk, or Kenyon Drake. I would go Le'Veon Bell. Lock in Le'Veon Bell with confidence, guys. Le'Veon Bell's the number 1 running back on the best offense in the NFL. He's going to play 65% at least of the snaps, and he's a good receiver. What else do you need to start Le'Veon Bell? You got to get him in your lineups. His ceiling is unparalleled this week. We're only a couple likes away from 85 likes on this YouTube stream, guys. Really do appreciate it. Hit that like button if you haven't hit it yet. Brandon Ayuk, Marvin Jones, or Jarvis Landry? I would go with Ayuk and Marvin Jones. And I do trust Ayuk a good amount today, even though he is dealing with a backup quarterback, even though George Kittle is back. I do think you can trust him today to do very well. So I think that you got to be trusting him in your lineups. He's gone over 70 receiving yards, guys. He's gone over 70 receiving yards in 5 consecutive games. So yes, you can trust him in your lineups today. Would you start Melvin Gordon or Carson and Dobbins? I personally would start Melvin Gordon over Carson and Dobbins. With Phillip Lindsay out, guys, Melvin Gordon is a fantastic start. And we are a little over an hour away from kickoff today, guys. We got football all day. This is going to be a fantastic Saturday, starting with the Lions and the Bucs. I think that the Bucs, they've struggled on prime time. I don't think that's going to happen today. They're 10-point favorites. Tom Brady projected for 320 passing yards and 3 TDs. I think Chris Godwin, Mike Evans, and Antonio Brown are all going to do very well. Is Jacobs a safe start? Yeah, he's extremely safe because he's seeing over 25 touches per game. And there's very few players in the NFL that you can say that about. So I do think that Josh Jacobs is one of the safest running backs that you can possibly find this week. How will Jeff Wilson do today? I think Jeff Wilson's going for over 60 yards and a touchdown today. I think he's going to provide pretty good running back 2 value. How will that's how I think Jeff Wilson's going to do. Well, Kittle being back, you worried about Cardinals defense. I think that the Cardinals defense can still do well, even with Kittle back. But it definitely is a slight downgrade for the Cardinals defense because it's a huge uptick for the 49ers offense. The 49ers offense, though, to me, if I'm betting on any of the games today, it's got to be the Arizona Cardinals -4.5. Kyler Murray, top 5 quarterback in the NFL, going up against a backup quarterback. I think they should be closer to a 7-point favorite in this game. And if I was going a second game, I think the Dolphins are going to handle the Raiders. They're only 2.5-point favorites. I like that spread a lot too, but I only bet on player prop picks, and the free prop pick of the day is Myles Gaskin over 50.5 rushing yards. Lock that one in, guys. Parker or Brown? I would go with Brown over Parker. Yeah, he is on limited snaps. George Kittle is on limited snaps, but limited George Kittle is better than full-time almost every other tight end in the NFL. That's how good George Kittle is. He could still easily score 2 touchdowns. And guys, if you're watching live on YouTube, hit that like button. We're almost at 90 likes on the stream. Really do appreciate everyone tuned in. I woke up this morning at 4:30 finishing my fantasy research to relay to all of you, and I said we got to hit 2,500 YouTube subscribers today. We're close. We are close to hitting it. This is where we started this morning, 2,360. I'm not sure if we passed 2,400 yet. I think we're getting there. Hit that like button. We're almost at 90 likes. That helps us gain more subscribers as well if you've already subscribed. If you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel yet, not sure what you're waiting for, guys. We're having a great time on YouTube. Is Le'Veon a strong flex over Marvin Jones or DJ Moore? Yeah, I would personally play Le'Veon Bell over both those guys. I think he's a strong flex over both them. Definitely over DJ Moore. Marvin Jones is a little bit closer. But Le'Veon Bell, guys, running back 1 this week is a top 10 running back for me this week as the number 1 running back. He's going to play at least 65% of the snaps for the best offense in the NFL. Kittle, Antonio Brown, or Cole Beasley. I would go Antonio Brown over Kittle and over Cole Beasley. I hate starting tight ends in my flex. They just don't have the same type of floor as every other position in fantasy football as running backs and receivers. I would go Lamar Jackson over Jalen Hurts. There's 5 quarterbacks I'm starting over Jalen Hurts this week. It's Patrick Mahomes, it's Aaron Rodgers, it's Lamar Jackson, it's Josh Allen, and it's Kyler Murray. End of list. Then we can start talking about starting Jalen Hurts. Again, here's the 5 quarterbacks I'm starting over Jalen Hurts. Josh Allen, Aaron Rodgers, Lamar Jackson, Kyler Murray, Patrick Mahomes. End of list. Then's Jalen Hurts. Right after Jalen Hurts is Tom Brady. Tom Brady projected for 320 passing yards and 3 touchdowns today. That's his over-unders if you wanted to bet on them. He's up against a Lions defense that's allowed top 5 fantasy points per game to quarterbacks this season. He's probably going to do very well. And if you're watching live on YouTube, guys, hit that like button. Let's get to 100 likes on this stream. Hit that like button. Really do appreciate it. I would be pumped to pass 100 likes again. We passed it earlier this morning on a different stream. Had to restart because of audio issues. So hit that like button. Really helps me out. Hit that subscribe button too if you haven't subscribed yet. Landry or Lockett. I would lean towards Jarvis Landry over Tyler Lockett. Thanks, Daddy Walter. My name's actually Sam. I built an artificially intelligent algorithm and named it Walter. You can get access to his projections in the WalterPicks app on the iOS App Store. Classic mistake, though, so don't worry about it. Should I start Keenan Allen? No, you should not start Keenan Allen, guys. Do not start Keenan Allen. Swift, Metcalf, Corey Davis, James Robinson at flex. I would lean towards DeAndre Swift. I know DeAndre Swift is up against a Buccaneers defense. That is a very good rushing defense, but he's also a really good receiver, and he's going to do well even in a tough matchup. I like DeAndre Swift there. Dobbins or Fournette. I like Fournette a little bit more than J.K. Dobbins. The reason is that both of them are in similar situations. Both of them are the lead running backs for their teams, but Dobbins has more competition for those goal line carries with Lamar Jackson and with Gus Edwards. Fournette really has very little competition for those goal line carries. Guys, we're 7 likes away from 100 likes on this YouTube stream. Who's going to be our 100th like on this YouTube stream? Definitely hit that like button. Crowder or Higgins? Jameson Elite Crowder is back in the PPR conversation this week. He led the team in targets last week. I think he's going to lead them in targets again this week. So I would go Crowder there. Fournette or Carson? I would lean towards Chris Carson over Fournette, even though Fournette has a really high likelihood of a touchdown today against the Lions defense, along with top 5 fantasy points per game to the running back position. I would still go Chris Carson. Liked in YouTube. Thanks, man. Flex Landry or Taylor. I would probably flex Jarvis Landry over Jonathan Taylor just because of the matchups. And Jonathan Taylor has been great for us, guys. He's been a fantastic ad, as has David Montgomery. But Jarvis Landry in a great matchup this week against the Jets. I would go with Jarvis Landry. Will Bell get a TD? Almost definitely. Le'Veon Bell's going to get a TD. Best DFS sleepers for today. Yeah, I like Christian Kirk as a pretty good sleeper. I like Jeff Wilson, Myles Gaskin, and Kenyon Drake. All as really good values on DFS today. Washington D or Dolphins D? I would lean towards Dolphins defense. Keenan Allen can't be trusted, guys. He looked directly in the camera before the game and said, "Start me in fantasy football." And he didn't even play half the snaps. He can't be trusted. Get him out of your starting lineups. Guys, we're 3 likes away from 100 likes on this YouTube stream. Hit that like button. Really do appreciate it. Help me out. Antonio Brown, QT, or Gage? I would go Antonio Brown. Antonio Brown. There we go. 100 likes. We did it. That's what I'm talking about. Antonio Brown, Mike Evans, and Chris Godwin. They all have extremely high ceilings today. Tom Brady is going to go over 300 passing yards. That's great news for all of those receivers. Bears defense or Dolphins defense? I like the Bears defense a lot this week, but I think I like the Dolphins defense just a little bit more. Is Robinson playing also Ertz or Gesicki? I would go Gesicki over Ertz, and I think Robinson is going to play, but it has not yet been confirmed. That is an unconfirmed thing. James Robinson and Allen Robinson, both questionable for Sunday. It's unclear whether they're going to suit up or not. And Mike Lennon is going to be starting against the Bears defense. That's an upgrade for the Bears defense as well. Matthew Stafford is officially active. He is going to be playing. Murray or Brady? I would lean towards Kyler Murray over Brady. And someone unliked. Now we're under 100 likes, guys. Let's get to 100 likes on this YouTube stream. I would go to Kyler Murray over Tom Brady. If I'm ranking my top 5 quarterbacks this week, guys, in any order, the top 5 are Kyler Murray, Lamar Jackson, Aaron Rodgers, Josh Allen, and Patrick Mahomes. Those are the top 5. And right after those top 5, it is Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts is number 6, guys. You got to start Jalen Hurts. Swift or Jacobs? I would go Josh Jacobs over DeAndre Swift, but it's definitely close. Bucks minus 8.5. Honestly, my favorite spreads of the day are the Cardinals and the Dolphins, not the Bucks. The Bucks have struggled in primetime. I would like, again, I don't bet on spreads. I'm going to be fully transparent. I do not bet on spreads. I only bet on player prop picks because I've had a positive ROI, 66% accuracy on over 200 picks dating back to 2019 using artificial intelligence to identify those player prop picks. And today's free prop pick, by the way, Myles Gaskin, over 50.5 rushing yards. Lock that one in with confidence. But if I were betting on spreads today, I would rank them as Arizona Cardinals minus 4.5. Love that one. You bet on the better quarterback, minus 4.5. Kyler Murray, significantly better than whatever the 49ers are trotting out there at quarterback. And then the Dolphins are probably going to handle business against the Raiders. I think that the Dolphins defense and Tua is just a winner. So the Dolphins defense is legit too. Top 5 defense in the NFL. I do like the Dolphins versus the Raiders today. So if I were going spreads, I would like the Cardinals and the Dolphins. Antonio Brown or Le'Veon Bell? I like Le'Veon Bell a little bit more than Antonio Brown this week. Zeke, Pollard, or McKissick? I would go McKissick over Zeke and Pollard. I would go Le'Veon Bell over Antonio Brown. Again, Le'Veon Bell has tremendous upside this week, guys. As the number 1 running back in the best offense in the NFL, he's also a great receiver. And if you're watching live on YouTube, guys, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you're watching live on TikTok and you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel yet, not sure what you're waiting for. We're posting weekly content over there. We're live on YouTube right now as well. Come over and join that stream. We are having a great time. We got a little close to an hour until football, guys. Football all Saturday. What did we do to deserve this? This is fantastic. QT or Keenan Allen? I want nothing to do with Keenan Allen, but if he's playing, you probably have to start him over QT. Swift or Ayuk? I would lean towards Swift over Ayuk. Can Bernard be trusted against Houston? Yeah, he can. He saw over 20 touches and he is up against the Houston Texans defense, allowing top 5 fantasy points per game to running backs this season. What tight ends would you start over Kittle? The only 3 tight ends I'm starting over Kittle are Mark Andrews, Darren Waller, and Travis Kelce. End of list. That's it. Those are the only tight ends I would start over Kittle. Kyler Murray or Josh Allen? I would lean towards Kyler Murray over Josh Allen. Yo, thanks so much. You helped me win my league. Lucas, that's what I'm talking about, man. Hope that deserved a like and a subscribe. And if I did help you win your league, hopefully you consider using some of that money from your league to go become a premium subscriber in the WalterPicks app. And if you subscribe for the year right now, you'll get access to all of our fantasy football content for next season, including our draft content that can help you dominate your drafts next season as well. Russell Gage or DK Metcalf? I would go DK Metcalf there. Miami D or football D? Yeah, the app says football defense. I like the Washington football defense as well. I think both of them are going to do very well. I would probably lean towards the Washington football team. If Chase Edmonds is inactive, I would start Kenyon Drake over Fournette. If Chase Edmonds is inactive, I would start Kenyon Drake over Leonard Fournette. If Chase Edmonds is active, though, it's definitely Fournette over Kenyon Drake. I would go Le'Veon Bell over James Robinson. That's exactly what I'm going to do. Lucas, seriously, thank you. Every premium subscriber in the WalterPicks app literally brings me one step closer to a dream come true of doing this full time. So really, really do appreciate all of our premium subscribers in the WalterPicks app. Start Kittle. Yeah, start Kittle. Unless you have Mark Andrews, Darren Waller, or Travis Kelce, Start George Kittle, guys. Even if he's on a limited snap count, which he probably will be. He should be on a limited snap count in his first game back since week 13. But George Kittle is one of the most talented tight ends of all time. Even if he plays 50% of the snaps, I like him over every tight end that's not named Mark Andrews, Darren Waller, or Travis Kelce. Guys, hit that like button. Let's see if we can get to 110 likes on this YouTube stream. Really do appreciate everyone that's tuned in. Outlook for Edmonds today if he plays. Yeah, he's going to be a boom and bust running back 3 if he plays. He's probably going to lead the backfield in targets like he does most weeks. Can I have a DFS lineup with Brady and all 3 Bucs wide receivers, or is that too much? I think it is too much, Matt. I think you're overstacking there, because really, if you want to win a tournament, you got to hope that they're consolidating to just 2 wide receivers going off. I would prefer just making 2 different lineups with 2 different pairs of those wide receivers and then one lineup with all 3. I would be pretty surprised if a tournament was winnable with 3 of those wide receivers. But I guess if any offense could make it happen, it could be the Bucs. Logan Thomas or Marquise Brown. I would lean towards Logan Thomas over Marquise Brown. Logan Thomas is going to lead that team in receiving again with Terry McLaurin out. I'd like Le'Veon Bell more than David Montgomery this week. And I know David Montgomery has been the number 1 running back over the last month. He's gone 4 straight games, over 25 fantasy points. But I like Le'Veon Bell a little bit more than him this week. Kittle or Hawkinson. I like Kittle. The only 3 tight ends I'm starting over George Kittle: Mark Andrews, Darren Waller, Travis Kelce. End of list. Guys, let's see if we can get to 110 likes. Hit that like button if you're watching live on YouTube. Kittle over Tonyan. Yes, I would go Kittle over Tonyan. Thoughts on James Robinson? I think James Robinson's going to play, but the injury definitely gives him increased risk. Gaskin or Jeff Wilson? I like Jeff Wilson a little bit more. It happened by accident. Yeah, it doesn't seem very, very viable to me either, Matt. Murray or Watson? I would go Murray over Watson and Jalen Hurts. There's only 5 quarterbacks I'm starting over Jalen Hurts this week. It is Kyler Murray, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, and Aaron Rodgers. Those are the only 5 quarterbacks I would start over Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts is number 6. And at number 7, it's Tom Brady. All 7 of those guys are going to do really well. How much is the premium sub on WalterPicks? If you subscribe for the year, it's just $60 for the entire year. You're getting 365 days of dominant fantasy football analysis, player prop picks that are exploitable, and DFS advice. And if you want to go for the monthly plan, that, by the way, that boils down to $5 a month. If you go for the monthly plan, I think it's $10 or $15 a month. So really not that bad. You're going to make more money than you spend on the WalterPicks subscription. Should I play Ayuk? Yeah, you can play Ayuk. He's gone over 70 receiving yards in 5 consecutive games. Kenyon Drake or David Johnson? I would lean towards Kenyon Drake if Chase Edmonds does not play. But if Chase Edmonds does play, I would go David Johnson. Our league does 2 weeks, which is, yeah, the 2-week playoffs are brutal. We'll definitely be live on Saturday and Sunday next week as well for the Week 17 fantasy football people and for DraftKings advice. It's always fun playing DraftKings and FanDuel on Week 17. Even if your fantasy football season is over, it can still keep going on DraftKings and on FanDuel. Why do you like Le'Veon Bell so much this week? Well, Marcus, let me lay it out for you. He's the number 1 running back with Clyde Edwards-Helaire out. He's going to play at least 65% of the snaps for the best offense in the NFL. We know he's a good receiver. So he's also going to be the goal line back. We've seen him be on the field inside the 5 for the Chiefs over the past few weeks. So I like Le'Veon Bell as a top 10 running back. He's a part of the best offense in the NFL. We know he's a good receiver. He's probably going to score at least 1 touchdown. Pick one: Sanders, Eckler, or Jacobs. Definitely Eckler. You cannot bench Austin Eckler, guys. Chark or Henderson? I would go Chark over Henderson. Bills defense or Bears defense? I like the Bears defense a lot against the Jaguars offense. Mike Glennon, I mean, really, definitely the Bears defense. Melvin Gordon or Le'Veon Bell? Melvin Gordon is much safer than Le'Veon Bell. With no Phillip Lindsay, Melvin Gordon's been great with Phillip Lindsay. Melvin Gordon is a really safe running back too this week. I'd argue Le'Veon Bell has a higher ceiling, but I would probably still go Melvin Gordon just because he has a really, really safe floor. Yes, start Chris Godwin, start Mike Evans, start Antonio Brown. All 3 of those guys have extremely high ceilings today, guys. The Bucs offense, they're 10-point favorites, which makes Leonard Fournette intriguing as well, but they're projected for 320 passing yards and 3 passing touchdowns for Tom Brady. So all 3 of those receivers need to be started. Thoughts on Calvin Ridley, because Julio is not back. Julio Jones is out again this week. Gage, Rashard Higgins, or Darnell Mooney? If Allen Robinson's out, Darnell Mooney is in the wide receiver 2 conversation, guys. The Jaguars have the worst passing defense in the NFL, the worst one in the NFL. They've stopped nobody in the past month. They're extremely injured. They weren't even good when healthy. So Darnell Mooney and Mitch Trubisky are interesting streamers, especially if Allen Robinson is out. You got to love Darnell Mooney. If Allen Robinson is in, you got to love Mitch Trubisky. Baker or Russ? I would lean towards Baker Mayfield over Russell Wilson this week, given their matchups. David Johnson or Ayuk. David Johnson, for me, is safer than Ayuk this week. AB or Robbie Anderson, definitely Antonio Brown. Steelers or Bears defense. I would go Bears defense against Mike Glennon. There's very few quarterbacks that are going to be better for defenses than Mike Glennon. Kamara or Dalvin? It's Alvin Kamara for sure. The second we saw Alvin Kamara step on the field with those cleats on, those red and green cleats, we knew what was going to happen. I mean, we should have adjusted the rankings the second we saw him wearing those cleats. Jeff Wilson or Tony Pollard in flex? Definitely Jeff Wilson. Pollard can't be trusted. Zeke is going to be back. He's probably going to play more than Pollard. Crowder or Godwin? Definitely Godwin. Hey, Sam, Kittle or Hawk? Josh, I like Kittle more than Hawk. The only 3 tight ends I would be playing over George Kittle are Darren Waller, Mark Andrews, and Travis Kelce. End of list. Even though Kittle is going to be limited, he's better limited than most players full-time, and that includes Hawkinson. I would be starting George Kittle over Hawkinson. Guys, hit that like button if you're watching live on YouTube. Let's get to 110 likes on this stream. If you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel yet, you got to go subscribe. Hit that subscribe button on YouTube. We're trying to get to 2,500 YouTube subscribers today, man. Colts defense over Bills defense. Guys, the Pittsburgh Steelers offense is crumbling right before our eyes. Fire up the Colts defense with confidence. James Robinson, Antonio Gibson, will they play? I think both of them are going to play, but it's not confirmed. Those cleats were a measurable data point Walter should have been made aware of. Yeah, Ben, I agree. Those cleats, the second I saw those cleats, I was like, damn, we definitely should have been projecting Alvin Kamara for 50 fantasy points today, because those cleats give it all away. The second he stepped onto that field with those cleats, we knew what was going to happen with Alvin Kamara. And Walter did identify Alvin Kamara as an exploitable prop pick yesterday. We knew Alvin Kamara was going to go off. We just didn't realize it was going to be in the rushing game, not the receiving game. Pick 2, Taylor, Gibson, Gaskin. I would go Taylor and Gaskin there. I would go Le'Veon Bell over Myles Gaskin. What do you think about James Conner? He's been a bust this season. He really has been inefficient on the running game, and the receiving game. Last game he played, he had the lowest snap percentage he's had this season, and he actually was healthy most of that game. I'm not in on James Conner. I think you got to be benching him this week, especially on an offense that's just crumbling. I would play Jarvis Landry over Deontay Johnson, Gaskin, Wilson, or Carson. I like Wilson a little bit more than Gaskin today. The over-under line for Gaskin is 50.5. The over-under line for Jeff Wilson is 63. And I think that they should be closer. That's why we said one of the exploitable free player prop picks today. It's Myles Gaskin over 50.5 rushing yards. But I do think that Jeff Wilson's the better start in fantasy. Elaborate on Gaskin versus Bell. Yeah, listen, Myles Gaskin, he's going to split some work with Ahmed today. And even in a really, really good matchup against the Raiders defense that has allowed over 55 rushing yards to 7 different running backs in their last 4 games, Le'Veon Bell has less competition than Myles Gaskin in a better offense than Myles Gaskin in an offense that's going to score more points. So there it is, laid out for you very clearly. Le'Veon Bell over Myles Gaskin. Swift or Moore, I would definitely go Swift. I know Swift has a tough matchup today, guys, but DeAndre Swift is an absolute stud. I think you can trust him still. Antonio Brown or Greg Ward, I would lean towards Antonio Brown. Antonio Brown, Chris Godwin, Mike Evans, you got to fire all of those guys up. You think Jacobs will hit 67 yards? Yeah, I do think Jacobs will hit 67 yards. Kamara or Henry? After that game, it's got to be Alvin Kamara. Davis, Pollard, Ahmed. I would probably rank them in that order. Ahmed really can't be trusted with Myles Gaskin back. Antonio Brown or Greg Ward? I would go Antonio Brown over Greg Ward. And guys, if you haven't liked this YouTube stream yet, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't subscribed yet. I set a goal for myself. I woke up at 4:30 to finish my football research, and I set the goal to pass 2,500 YouTube subscribers today. We'll see if we can do it. I'm not sure how close we are. Someone in the YouTube chat can let me know. But definitely hit that like button, hit that subscribe button on YouTube. Really does help me out a lot. The free prop pick of the day. We've had over 80% accuracy giving away free prop picks. This is unparalleled accuracy. You won't find this accuracy anywhere else on the interweb, guys. The free prop pick of the day, it's Myles Gaskin over 50.5 rushing yards. Lock that one in with a lot of confidence. He's gone over 60 total yards in every single game he's played this season. He is up against a Raiders defense that's allowed 7 different running backs in their last 4 games to go over 55 rushing yards. Myles Gaskin is going over 50.5 rushing yards today. Is Marvin Jones a good start? Yes, he is. He's top 3 in the NFL in air yards over the last month. Cooper or AB? I would go Antonio Brown. I would go Jameson Lee Crowder over James Conner. Lamb, Kittle, or QT at flex. In that situation, I'm okay tossing out George Kittle in the flex. Bills defense or Cardinals defense? I think it's the Bills defense. The Pats offense is one of the worst offenses in the NFL. They run the ball at a higher rate than every team, but they have no passing attack. And that's a horrible combination. They're like the anti-Tennessee Titans. The Tennessee Titans run the ball a tremendous amount, but they have the most efficient passing attack in the NFL. The Patriots want to be the Titans, but they can't throw the ball at all. And so the Bills defense is a lock this week. Carson, Bernard, Dobbins, pick 2. I would probably lean towards Carson and Bernard this week. Lockett or Carson. I think Tyler Lockett is an intriguing upside option this week, guys. Every 4 weeks, Tyler Lockett goes off. I think it has something to do with the pattern of Tyler Lockett. Every 4 weeks, Tyler Lockett goes absolutely off, and the time is now. I think Tyler Lockett's going to end up winning fantasy football championships. Deontay Johnson or Jarvis Landry. I would go Jarvis Landry over Deontay Johnson. Hurst, Ingram, Hooper. I would go Ingram over Hurst and over Hooper. Bowden or Ruggs. I would lean towards Bowden. If Ruggs even plays today, I would still go Bowden. I subscribed and liked. Thanks, man. Pick 2, Jacobs, Miles Sanders, AB, Jeff Wilson. I would be going with Josh Jacobs and Antonio Brown out of those 4 guys. Metcalf or Corey Davis. I'd go Corey Davis. And guys, we've made it to the fantasy football championship. Take a second. Enjoy this moment. This is probably going to be the last couple of days for fantasy football for almost every single person listening to this stream. So enjoy the football today. Enjoy the football tomorrow. Enjoy the football on Monday. And enjoy Myles Gaskin going over 50.5 rushing yards. Everyone watching this is going to absolutely cash in when that happens. Chicago defense or Browns defense. I like the Chicago defense. Hit that like button, guys. Let's get to 125 likes on this stream. Hit that like button on YouTube. Really does help us out a ton. If you're watching live on TikTok and you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel yet, not sure what you're waiting for. No, I don't like Dallas Goedert or Zach Ertz very much. I really don't think you can trust anyone in that passing offense other than Jalen Hurts or Miles Sanders. There's no Eagles offense. There's no players in the Eagles offense that you can really trust. Thomas or Kittle. There's only 3 tight ends I'm playing over George Kittle today. It is Mark Andrews, Darren Waller, and of course Travis Kelce. That is it. The only tight ends I'm starting over George Kittle. Logan Thomas for me ranked right behind George Kittle, and I think that Logan Thomas is safer than George Kittle. So if you're going for safety, you go Logan Thomas. He's going to lead that offense in receiving again this week with no Terry McLaurin. But I think that 50% of George Kittle is still better than 100% of Logan Thomas. Gesicki or Goddard. I would go Gesicki. I would go Arizona defense over Tampa Bay defense. Mike Davis, Gaskin, or Keenan Allen. I would go Gaskin, then Davis, then Keenan Allen. I want nothing to do with Keenan Allen. I would go Le'Veon Bell over J.K. Dobbins. Again, Le'Veon Bell has unparalleled upside this week as a good receiver, the number 1 running back and the best offense in the NFL, and probably going to be the goal line back. So there's a lot to like about Le'Veon Bell this week. Bills or Browns? Definitely, I would go Bills defense against the Pats. Browns defense should do well against the Jets as well. Godwin or Evans? I lean towards Evans over Godwin, but it's definitely close. Murray, Hopkins, Dan Arnold stack in DFS. Yeah, I like the stack. Marcus, I don't love Dan Arnold in the stack. I think that just Murray and Hopkins and maybe Christian Kirk is a better stack than that. But if that tight end stack hits, you're going to do very well. You're banking on Darren Waller and George Kittle not performing in DFS, though, if you're not going with one of those tight ends today. Watson or Hurst? I would lean Watson or Hurts. I would lean towards Hurts. The only 5 quarterbacks I'm starting over Jalen Hurts this week. It's Aaron Rodgers, it's Kyler Murray, it's Lamar Jackson, it's Patrick Mahomes, and it's Josh Allen. That is it. End of list. Those are the only 5 quarterbacks I'd be starting over Jalen Hurts. Otherwise, Jalen Hurts is number 6, and Tom Brady comes in at number 7. Antonio Brown over Russell Gage, 100%. Just subscribed. Taylor or Jacobs, and Font or Goddard. Thanks for subscribing, Lisa. I appreciate it. I would go Jacobs, and I would go Noah Font. Dobbins or Lockett at flex? I would go Dobbins over Lockett. What do I do if Zeke starts? If Zeke starts, get Ezekiel Elliott and Tony Pollard both out of your lineups. You can't trust either of them this week. Miami or Arizona? I like Miami more than Arizona. Miami and Arizona, if I was betting on any games today, by the way, on the spreads, I love the Arizona spread. Minus 4.5 for the Cardinals. They have a significantly better offense than what the 49ers have. And I bet based on offenses. Offenses are what dictate in the NFL. So I like the Arizona minus 4.5. I like the Dolphins minus 2.5 today as well. I think that the Dolphins defense and offense are going to do well against this Raiders team. Gibson or Gaskin? I would lean towards Gaskin. Corey Davis or Metcalf? I would lean towards Corey Davis. I would go Le'Veon Bell over David Johnson, Aaron. Le'Veon Bell's upside is too big to ignore. And hit that like button. Let's get to 120 likes on this stream. Really do appreciate everyone that's hit that like button so far. We got 40 minutes till football, guys. We got 50 minutes till football, 40 minutes left in the stream. Can you go over players you can trust this week? Yeah, there's a lot of players to trust this week. You can trust Chris Godwin, Mike Evans, Antonio Brown. You can trust Jeff Wilson. You can trust Myles Gaskin. You can trust DeAndre Swift today as well. All of these players today are guys you can trust. You can trust Tom Brady today as well. I think you can really trust Marvin Jones. Marvin Jones is top 3 in the NFL in air yards over the last month. That is a significant indicator of fantasy football points. So yes, you can trust Marvin Jones. There is also a lot of trust to be had with a guy like David Johnson, who led the Texans in receiving last week. And any running back that has that upside is definitely trustworthy. Keenan or Corey Davis. I like Corey Davis more than Keenan Allen. A guy you can't trust. Let's talk about some guys you can't trust. Keenan Allen, who stared right into the camera before the game last week and said, start me in fantasy football when he wasn't even playing half the snaps. You can't trust Keenan Allen with the injury. You can't trust Mike Williams with his injury. You also can't trust James Conner or Ezekiel Elliott. Don't trust those guys. We're almost at 125 likes on this stream, guys. 4 likes away. Hit that like button if you're tuned in. Really do appreciate that. Jeff Wilson or Antonio Brown in flex. I would lean towards Antonio Brown over Jeff Wilson for the upside, but Jeff Wilson's definitely the safer play. Jeff Wilson's going to get at least 50 rushing yards. He's probably going to score a touchdown. So if you're going for at least 10 fantasy points, you go Jeff Wilson. If you're going for 25 plus, you go with Antonio Brown. Is Cardinals defense a good play? Yes, they are a good play against the backup quarterback. Lockett or Woods. I like Woods more than Lockett. Pick 2, Lockett, Marvin Jones, Ayuk, AB, or Allen Robinson. I would personally lean towards Marvin Jones and Antonio Brown, both the guys that played today. I like both those guys a little bit more than Ayuk with the backup quarterback. Antonio Brown or Giovanni Bernard in flex. I would go Antonio Brown, but Giovanni Bernard safer. Again, I'm someone in life who likes to take risks. That's why I bet every single dollar I had to start my own business. And I think the best investment you can make in life is investing in yourself. And that's why I did that. But I do think that the risk of Antonio Brown is worth it today as well. Melvin Gordon or Jonathan Taylor. I would go Melvin Gordon. Derrick Henry and Montgomery, good RB duo to win the ship. Yeah, there's probably no better running back duo, I mean, of course, other than Alvin Kamara in the fantasy football playoffs. Both those guys have been absolutely cooking. You got to trust both those guys again this week. Jacoby Myers or Gage. I would lean towards Jacoby Myers over Gage, but it's close. And you could definitely make the argument Gage has a higher ceiling and Jacoby Myers has the safer floor. And again, if you need help with your start sit decisions, guys, I've spent over 400 hours in 4 years building the WalterPicks app in the iOS App Store. It has the most accurate projections on the face of the universe. We simulate each week 10,000 times to give you accurate boom and bust probability. So that's a good place to start, completely free, to give everyone 30 free start sit comparisons to go help with your start sit decisions. Juju or Crowder. I would lean towards Crowder. Players you hate this week. I hate James Conner. I hate Ezekiel Elliott. I hate Tony Pollard. I want nothing to do with the Steelers offense. Honestly, Juju, Deontay Johnson, Chase Claypool really can't be trusted. Big Ben can't be trusted. Everyone on that offense is tough to trust. I think Jonathan Taylor could also struggle against the Pittsburgh Steelers defense. Corey Davis or Juju. I would go Corey Davis there. Antonio Gibson, Leonard Fournette, David Johnson, and Jeff Wilson. Rank them, please. I would rank these guys as Leonard Fournette number 1, Jeff Wilson number 2, David Johnson number 3, Antonio Gibson number 4. Cleveland or Ravens and Gaskin or Carson. I would go Cleveland. I mean, you gotta love going up against the Jets with your defense. And I would probably go Carson over Gaskin, but they're pretty close, honestly. And again, our free prop pick of the day is Myles Gaskin, over 50.5 rushing yards. He's up against a Raiders defense that has allowed over 55 rushing yards to 7 different running backs in the last 4 games. Almost 2 running backs per game in the last 4 games for the Raiders are going over 55 rushing yards. So you got to like them a lot. Both Gaskin and Ahmed should do pretty well today against a really, really bad run defense. Guys, we're 3 likes away from 125 likes. Hit that like button. Who's going to be that 125th like on this YouTube stream? Also hit that subscribe button if you haven't subscribed yet. We're trying to hit 2,500 YouTube subscribers. Someone in the YouTube chat, let me know where we're at. This morning when I woke up at 4:30 to finish my fantasy football research for all of you, I said, we got to get to 2,500 YouTube subscribers. That's the goal of the day. And we had some audio issues earlier, which definitely set us back, but hit that like button. We're almost at 125 likes, and we got a couple hundred people tuned in between TikTok and YouTube right now. If everyone goes subscribes to our YouTube channel, we'll hit that goal. So someone let me know what we're at in terms of YouTube subscribers in the chat. We just hit 125 likes, which is super exciting. I'm going to try to get to every single one of your questions. We're only 70 subscribers away, guys. We can do this. Hit that subscribe button if you're watching live on YouTube. If you're watching live on TikTok, come subscribe to our YouTube channel yet. We're over halfway to our goal this morning of hitting 2,500 YouTube subscribers. So we're only 70 away. Jacobs versus Miami or Sanders versus Dallas, and why? I would lean towards Jacobs versus Miami. And I know Dallas run defense is atrocious. Miles Sanders is a good option, but I think that Josh Jacobs is going to touch the ball a lot today. I think Josh Jacobs is going to touch the ball at least 25 times, and that's why I would go Josh Jacobs. Can you trust Antonio Gibson? No, you can't trust him. Juju or Gaskin. I would lean Gaskin over Juju. I would lean Gaskin over Mike Davis, even though Mike Davis is probably going to touch the ball more than Myles Gaskin. Myles Gaskin has a fantastic matchup. He's up against a Raiders defense. Again, they've allowed 7 different running backs in the last 4 weeks to rush over 55 yards, and I think Gaskin's going to do that today. He's probably going to score a touchdown as well. Brady or Herbert. I would lean towards Brady over Herbert. Brady's a top 7 quarterback. Listen, the top 5 quarterbacks in no particular order: Lamar Jackson, Aaron Rodgers, Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Kyler Murray. Right after that, you get Jalen Hurts. He's number 6, and Tom Brady's number 7. All of those guys, very, very good options. Ito Smith, Kenyon Drake, or Bowden for one spot. Definitely Kenyon Drake. And we're still awaiting the news on if Chase Edmonds is playing today or not. If Chase Edmonds is out, then you got to love Kenyon Drake. Even if Chase Edmonds is in, though, I would still go Kenyon Drake there. Start Crowder, Lockett, or waiver wire wide receiver. I would go Lockett. A.J. Brown or Ayuk. I would go A.J. Brown. You trust Antonio Brown over Mike Davis? Yeah, I would trust Antonio Brown over Mike Davis. Guys, we're almost at 130 likes. There we go. 130 likes on this YouTube stream. Love to see it. Really do appreciate every one of you that's tuned in, guys. We got football on Saturday. That's always a fun thing. We got football all day today. We got football, red zone all day tomorrow. It's going to be a fantastic weekend, championship weekend. And if you're tuned in, I bet a lot of you are in your fantasy football championships. Good job getting here. This was an extremely hard fantasy football season, probably the hardest in my recent memory. And if you made it this far, you gotta give yourself some credit, but don't celebrate too soon. We got to get to that championship, not just in the championship. We want to win the championship. That's what it's all about. Let's see if we can get to 150 likes, guys. Hit that like button. If you're watching live on YouTube, hit that subscribe button. I set the goal for myself at 4:30 in the morning when I woke up to finish my fantasy research. I rewatch every game from the previous week. I said we got to get to 2,500 YouTube subscribers today. We are halfway to our goal. We got about 40 minutes left in the stream. So help us do that by hitting that like button, hitting that subscribe button on YouTube. Tonyan or Logan Thomas? It's definitely Tonyan or Logan Thomas. I would go Logan Thomas. Logan Thomas is going to lead that team in receiving again with Terry McLaurin out. He's got a good chance to go over 100 yards. The only guys I'm starting over Logan Thomas are George Kittle, Mark Andrews, Darren Waller, and Travis Kelce. End of list. Keenan Allen or Deontay Johnson? I want nothing to do with Keenan Allen. After he looked into the camera, said, start me. He's too risky for me. I would go Deontay Johnson. Rashad Higgins or Lockett? I would lean towards Lockett. He has higher upside than Higgins. Waiver wire defense. Look no further than the Bears or the Bills or the Seahawks are probably available in your league. They're an interesting defense as well. What's your bold prediction for Antonio Brown? My bold prediction for Antonio Brown is 100 yards and 2+ touchdowns today. Herbert, Josh Allen, or Hurts? I would lean towards Josh Allen, then Hurts, then Herbert. Again, there's only 5 quarterbacks I'm starting over Jalen Hurts. It's Kyler Murray, it's Lamar Jackson, it's Josh Allen, it's Aaron Rodgers, and it's Patrick Mahomes. End of list. Then it's Jalen Hurts, and then it's Tom Brady. All 7 of those guys are fantastic options. I would go Tom Brady over Deshaun Watson. Guys, Tom Brady's projected for 320 passing yards and 3 touchdowns today. He's got tremendous upside against the Lions defense, allowing top 5 fantasy points per game to quarterbacks this season. Guys, let's get to 140 likes. Hit that like button if you're watching live on YouTube. If you haven't subscribed yet, we're trying to get to 2,500 YouTube subscribers. George Kittle projection. I think George Kittle is scoring at least 1 touchdown today. Gaskin, Bell, Corey Davis, Mike Davis, Kittle for flex. I would go Le'Veon Bell. Again, I think Le'Veon Bell's upside is almost unparalleled this week as the top running back for the Kansas City Chiefs. Guys, think about why was Clyde Edwards-Helaire a first-round pick in fantasy football this season? It's because we knew he had very little competition. He was a good receiving back, and he was in the best offense in the NFL. That all applies to Le'Veon Bell this week. And so Le'Veon Bell is the equivalent of a first-round pick this week. You got to get him into starting lineups. He's going to do very well. He's a good receiver and the best offense in the NFL. The stars are aligning for Le'Veon Bell to win championships this week. Pick one for flex. T. Higgins, Lockett. I would probably lean towards Rashad Higgins or Lockett. I would lean towards Lockett for the upside. I know that he's up against a really good defense, but if you're looking for the floor, it's Rashad Higgins for sure. Would you start Kittle over Tonyan and Goddard? Yes, I would. Again, the only tight ends I'm starting over George Kittle are Mark Andrews, Darren Waller, and Travis Kelce. That is it. Logan Thomas over TJ Hawkinson, guys. Logan Thomas is my number 5 ranked tight end this week. He's going to lead the Washington football team in receiving yards again with Terry McLaurin out. You gotta love Logan Thomas. He led that team in receiving last week with Terry McLaurin playing, and now Terry McLaurin is out. You got to love Logan Thomas this week as a top 5 tight end. I would still start George Kittle over him, though. And if you're looking for a free prop pick, I see a lot of people in the chat. What's the free prop pick of the day? And it's not surprising to see people coming back because we've had over 80% accuracy giving away free player prop picks this season. Really, like an insane positive ROI on our free prop picks. My most confident prop pick today is Myles Gaskin. Over 50.5 rushing yards up against a Raiders defense that's allowed over 55 rushing yards to 7 different running backs over the last 4 games. absolutely insane. They are not a good rushing defense. Bottom 3 in the NFL, Gaskin's going to feast. He's gotten over 60 total yards in every game he's played this season. So yes, I do like Myles Gaskin a lot today. And we got to send out the push notification letting people know we have some props today. Washington or Pittsburgh D with the news about the Colts O-line. Yeah, Pittsburgh defense is probably going to do well against that O-line. It also is a downgrade for Jonathan Taylor, but I still like Washington defense a little bit more. Gordon or Fournette. I like Melvin Gordon just a little bit more than Leonard Fournette this week. Melvin Gordon has actually been a running back one, even with Phillip Lindsay playing over the last month. And now Phillip Lindsay out this week. Melvin Gordon is one of the safer running backs in all of football. Sorry about that, guys, on TikTok. I do trust Melvin Gordon a lot. He's been one of the most consistent running backs in all of fantasy football. You got to start him this week. I would be starting him over Leonard Fournette, who, again, is also another really good option today as a 10-point favorite against a Lions team that's really not done well stopping running backs this season. Gaskin, Fournette, or Swift. I would probably rank those running backs as Fournette number 1, Swift number 2, and Gaskin number 3. Brady or Tua, definitely Brady. I would go Hurts over Brady, though. There's only 5 quarterbacks I'm starting over Tua, and those 5 quarterbacks are Kyler Murray, Lamar Jackson, Aaron Rodgers, Patrick Mahomes, and Josh Allen. That's it. Then it's Hurts, guys. Jalen Hurts' rushing ability and it gives him such a unique floor and ceiling that you can't be benching Jalen Hurts unless you have one of those top 5 guys. And if you're watching live on YouTube, guys, hit that like button. We're almost at 140 likes. Hit that subscribe button as well. Sam, which is most likely to happen for Prize Picks? Ooh, let's talk about Prize Picks. Yeah, we're actually partnering that with them soon. Godwin over 14, Evans over 14.5, D-Hop over 19.5. I'd probably go with Godwin and Hopkins. I honestly like all 3 of those, though. I think all 3 of those could definitely happen. I would lean towards Godwin and DeAndre Hopkins, though. DeAndre Hopkins, to me, is going to have a huge day. I think he's going to go for 100 yards and a touchdown today. He's been an absolute beast over the last couple of games. Do I play AB over either Kupp or Ayuk? No, I would not play him over Cooper Kupp, but I think I would play Antonio Brown over Brandon Ayuk. It's very close. Ayuk is the safer option. Ayuk has gone over 70 yards in 5 consecutive games, but with the backup quarterback going on for the 49ers, I do think Antonio Brown has a more intriguing upside than Brandon Ayuk this week. Lazard or Devontae Parker? If you're looking for waiver wire defenses, go ahead to Seattle Seahawks. Lazard or Devontae Parker? Definitely Devontae Parker over Lazard. Kiki QT or T.Y. Hilton? I would go Kiki. T.Y. Hilton really disappointed us against the Houston Texans last week. Kittle or Logan Thomas? There's only 3 tight ends I'm playing over George Kittle, and it is Mark Andrews, Darren Waller, and Travis Kelce. Then it's George Kittle, then it's Logan Thomas. So it's close. Logan Thomas has a safer floor than George Kittle, but I would argue that George Kittle has the better ceiling, so I would still go Kittle. Should I start Gaskin or Gio? I would lean towards Gio. Given his matchup, given the workload we can project them for, I would still go Giovanni Bernard. But again, I do like Gaskin today. Gaskin's our free prop pick of the day, over 50.5 rushing yards against a horrible Raiders rushing defense. Thoughts on Rams D against Seattle? I think they're going to do very well. The Rams offense is really, really limited their passing attack over the last couple of games. Robinson or David Johnson? I would lean towards David Johnson over James Robinson. Are you still going to be live week 17? Of course, man. And I'll be live in the playoffs as well. Le'Veon Bell or Miles Sanders? I would lean towards Le'Veon Bell over Miles Sanders. And I know Sanders has a fantastic matchup against the Cowboys team that has not done good against the run, but Le'Veon Bell is the top running back in the best offense in the NFL, and he's a great receiver. So I would go Le'Veon Bell. Pick 2, Fournette, Dobbins, Swift, David Johnson. I would personally go with Swift and Fournette today. I think Fournette and Swift can both do very well. Guys, we're 3 likes away from 140 likes. Hit that like button if you're watching live on YouTube. If you're watching live on TikTok and you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel yet, we're trying to get to 2,500 YouTube subscribers today. We're only 70 subscribers away. If every single person watching live right now hits that subscribe button, we'll get there. Right like that. I woke up at 4:30 this morning to finish my fantasy research, and for all of you, and I said we got to get to 2,500 YouTube subscribers today. Why David Johnson over Robinson? I think David Johnson leading his team in receiving is absolutely a reason to be trusting David Johnson this week. And I wouldn't be saying this if James Robinson was 100% healthy. James Robinson has gotten over 10 fantasy points every single week this season in PPR leagues. He's extremely consistent. So if we get reports that he's 100% healthy, then it's Robinson. But with the ankle injury and him being questionable, I would lean towards David Johnson, the guy that's more healthy. Baker, Trubisky, or Russ, I would lean towards Baker. Bears or Seahawks D, I would lean towards the Bears defense over the Seahawks defense. They're up against Mike Glennon. Guys, we're 8 likes away from 150 likes on this stream. Hit that like button. Really does help me out a ton. And hit that subscribe button too if you haven't subscribed yet. Hey, Sam, Swift or Taylor? I like Swift a little bit more than Taylor. Taylor's got an injured offensive line up against one of the best run defenses in the NFL, even though they just got torched by Giovanni Bernard. I don't love Jonathan Taylor as much as I normally do this week. Le'Veon Bell or Jonathan Taylor? I like Le'Veon Bell a little bit more than Jonathan Taylor this week. Again, Le'Veon Bell to me is a top 10 running back option this week, guys. He's the best running back on the best offense in the NFL. So there's a lot to like there. Why was Clyde Edwards-Helaire a first-round pick this season? It was because he's a great receiver, and he was the goal line back for the best offense in the NFL. That is all true for Le'Veon Bell this week. He's equivalent of a first-round pick. So I do like Le'Veon Bell a lot this week. I'd play him over Jonathan Taylor. I have him as a top 10 running back option. I'd play him over Chris Carson as well. I'd play him, I think, over every running back that's playing today also. Guys, hit that like button if you're watching live on YouTube. Let's get to 150 likes. Really do appreciate it. Hit that subscribe button too. I'm here to try to answer all of your start-sit questions. This is a big, big week. Championship weekend. Le'Veon Bell over Jonathan Taylor. Yes, Lucas, you don't need to spam the question in the chat. Jalen Hurts or Tom Brady? I would go Jalen Hurts over Tom Brady. We have them one spot next to each other in our rankings, but it's close. Jonathan Taylor, Keenan Allen, and Logan Thomas. I would go Jonathan Taylor. I want nothing to do with Keenan Allen in my starting lineups today. Guys, we're 6 likes away from 200 likes on YouTube. Hit that like button if you're just joining us. Really does help me out a ton. I'm going to try to get to our start-sit questions. You got this. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. Hey, Sam, Darrell Henderson or Antonio Gibson? I would lean towards Antonio Gibson over Darrell Henderson. I think Malcolm Brown could very easily outperform Darrell Henderson. Hey, Sam, Kittle or Mark Andrews? I would lean towards Mark Andrews. The only 3 tight ends I'm starting over George Kittle are Mark Andrews, Darren Waller, and Travis Kelce. That's it. End of list. George Kittle is just as good, if not better than those guys, not Travis Kelce, when fully healthy, but he's going to be on a limited snap count. I don't see the like button. I'm trying. Yeah, Kim, thanks for tuning in. And I think that the like button is at the bottom of your screen, but I'm not exactly sure. Hit that subscribe button, though, if you haven't subscribed yet. Keenan Allen, Ayuk, or Kittle, or AB? I would lean towards Antonio Brown out of all of those guys. Antonio Brown, Chris Godwin, Mike Evans, you really can like all of those guys today. Tom Brady's projected for 320 passing yards and 3 touchdowns against a Lions defense that has allowed the 5th most passing yards in the NFL this season. Top 5 fantasy points per game allowed to quarterbacks, wide receivers, and running backs. The Lions defense is atrocious. We're 3 likes away from 150 likes. 2 likes away. Let's get to 150. Really do appreciate it. Tom Brady or Kyler Murray? I would go Kyler Murray over Tom Brady. Could you see Kyler and D-Hop going for 60+? Yes. I think both those guys have tremendous upside today. I love the Kyler Murray, DeAndre Hopkins stack in DFS, even though it's one of the most expensive, if not the most expensive stack on DraftKings and FanDuel today. They give you the optimal upside. There is no stack with more upside than Kyler Murray and DeAndre Hopkins. And there we go, 150 likes. Love to see it. Really do appreciate everyone that's tuned in right now and hitting that like button and subscribe button over on YouTube. Gaskin or DK at flex? I would lean towards DK Metcalf, but Myles Gaskin, Alessandro, is safer. Myles Gaskin is going to go over 50 rushing yards today. By the way, that's the free prop pick of the day. Myles Gaskin over 50.5 rushing yards, but DK Metcalf definitely has a higher ceiling. So I would go Metcalf, but if you're looking for at least 10 fantasy points, I would go with Gaskin. Where do I see the free picks in the app? Go to the player prop tool. You'll see the free prop pick in the app. Jonathan Taylor or Josh Jacobs? I like Josh Jacobs more than Jonathan Taylor. Jonathan Taylor's got an injured offensive line this week, and he's up against a good Steelers run defense, even though they got torched by Giovanni Bernard. I do like Jonathan Taylor. Guys, hit that like button if you're watching live on YouTube. If you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel yet, make sure you're hitting that subscribe button. I would go Giovanni Bernard over Jonathan Taylor. It does not feel good to say that. Just those words coming out of my mouth, I think I gagged a little bit, but I still think Giovanni Bernard is a little bit better than Jonathan Taylor. Carr or Mariota, who is starting? It is Derek Carr starting this week. And Robinson, Jacobs, Fournette, please. I would rank them in that reverse order. I'd say Josh Jacobs, then Fournette, then James Robinson. Gaskin or Gibson in non-PPR. I would lean towards Gaskin over Gibson in a non-PPR league. Guys, the Raiders rush defense is one of the worst rushing defenses in the NFL. If you're watching live on YouTube, guys, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We're trying to get to 200 likes in the next 30 minutes. I think we can do it. First, we got to get to 170. So hit that like button. Really do appreciate it. Hit that subscribe button too if you haven't subscribed yet. We're trying to get to 2,500 YouTube subscribers today. I know we can do it. Godwin thoughts. Yeah, I think Godwin's going to have a fantastic day. I think Mike Evans is as well. I think Tom Brady, Godwin, Evans, Antonio Brown, all these guys are great guys to have in your fantasy lineups today. Who is key to start this week in FanDuel? Le'Veon Bell on Sunday is the best start on FanDuel. Today, though, you got to like Kenyon Drake if Chase Edmonds is out. I think Jeff Wilson is also a fantastic value. I think Myles Gaskin is also a fantastic value. At the wide receiver position, I think Christian Kirk is an interesting sleeper today on DraftKings and on FanDuel, but I like Kyler Murray, DeAndre Hopkins stack more than any other stack on the slate today. Merry Christmas, Sam. I'm in the championship. Let's go, Samuel. Love to see it. CD, Hilton, or Andrews. Pick two, please. I would go CD and Andrews there. Kittle or Logan Thomas. I would go Kittle over Logan Thomas, but it's close. I don't like Ezekiel Elliott or Tony Pollard this week. I think they're both going to cannibalize each other. I think Zeke is going to touch the ball more than Pollard, and he's just too inefficient to trust. So bench both those guys. But I would lean towards Zeke over Pollard. Brady or Hurts. I like Hurts more than Brady. There's only 5 quarterbacks I'm starting over Jalen Hurts. It's Kyler Murray, Lamar Jackson, Aaron Rodgers, Patrick Mahomes, and Josh Allen. End of list. Do you make DraftKings lineups? Yes, Spencer. In the WalterPicks app on the iOS App Store, I built a DFS lineup optimizer, leverages linear programming with our artificially intelligent projections to give you the best possible lineups out of all the players that you like on the day. So go check that out on the WalterPicks app in the iOS App Store. And yes, I do make DraftKings lineups. And my favorite stack of the day was Kyler Murray and DeAndre Hopkins stacked together. Marvin Jones thoughts. I think Marvin Jones is a great start today. He's top 3 in the NFL in air yards over the last month. He really is seeing consistent volume with Kenny Golladay out. He's been a wide receiver 1. Hawkinson, Logan Thomas, or Tunyon, Swift or Jay Taylor, IBM Watson, since Swift has a big boom chance. Yeah, DJ, you gotta stop listening to IBM Watson though, because the true barometer of boom and bust percentages is Walter on the iOS App Store in the WalterPicks app, which has been more accurate than Watson in projecting boom and bust probabilities and projecting medium outcomes. So definitely go check out what the boom probability for those guys is on Walter. But I do think Swift has a pretty big boom probability. I agree with you that he has a high ceiling today. I used your app last week and finished top 10%. Spencer, that's what I'm talking about, man. That is how the app works to perfection. And if you did have a good day on DraftKings or FanDuel, definitely go submit something to our winners wall on the app and you could be featured in the app. Hey, Sam, championship week. Flex. Pick 1. JT, Bell, Gibson, Pollard if Zeke is out. I don't think Zeke is going to be out. I would go Le'Veon Bell, guys. Le'Veon Bell is a great start this week. And if you're watching live on YouTube, guys, hit that like button. Let's get to 160 likes. If you're watching live on TikTok and you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel yet, you got to go subscribe to YouTube, guys. We're trying to hit 2,500 YouTube subscribers today. We got 20 minutes-ish left in this stream. Start Fournette today or Carson tomorrow. I would go Fournette today. I'd go Aaron Rodgers over Baker for sure. I would go Antonio Brown over Jameson, Elite Crowder. Logan Thomas over TJ Hawkinson. Logan Thomas is going to lead that team in receiving again with Terry McLaurin out. You got to love Logan Thomas. Mooney, QT, Crowder. If Allen Robinson is out, I would go Darnell Mooney. If Allen Robinson is playing, I would go Jameson, Elite Crowder there. Guys, we're almost at 160 likes on YouTube. Hit that like button. Really does help us out a ton. We are almost there. We are almost at the end of the stream. I've been live for almost 3.5 hours. Thoughts on Sony Michel? Sony Michel is the top running back for the Patriots with Damian Harris out, but there's not much to like about anyone in the Pats offense. They didn't even score a touchdown last week, so the ceiling is just so low for all of them. I don't think that Allen Robinson's going to play. He's questionable. There's a good chance he does play, so that's not an official statement, but there's a good chance Allen Robinson does not play. Thank you, WalterPicks. Have a great day. Got you, man. Appreciate the like and the subscribe on YouTube. Does your algorithm work as well on basketball? Spencer, we're going to have an exciting announcement coming soon. I've been spending the last 2 years applying that same process that I applied to football for the NBA, and I'm going to be releasing it very, very soon. In the first couple of weeks of 2021, we will be announcing our NBA projections, which, yes, we will be dominating DraftKings and FanDuel with using the WalterPicks app on the iOS App Store. Guys, we're 3 likes away from 160 likes on this stream. Hit that like button. My favorite spreads today. It's the Dolphins -2.5. It's the Cardinals -4.5. Both those teams I think are going to win by over 5 points. I also like Myles Gaskin, over 50.5 rushing yards. That's the free prop pick of the day, which we've had over 80% accuracy giving away free prop picks this season. Myles Gaskin, over 50.5 rushing yards. Hit that like button if you're going to be riding with me on Myles Gaskin, over 50.5 rushing yards today. Jeff Wilson or Gaskin non-PPR. I would go Jeff Wilson over Gaskin, even though I like Gaskin's rushing prop. Jeff Wilson's prop is 63 yards. So Jeff Wilson is projected to do better than Myles Gaskin today. I like Jeff Wilson a little bit more. I like Le'Veon Bell more than David Johnson. Devontae Parker or Keenan Allen. I want nothing to do with Keenan Allen. Guys, we're 2 likes away from 160 likes. Hit that like button. Really do appreciate it. Who's going to be that 160th like on YouTube? Hit that subscribe button too if you haven't subscribed over on YouTube yet. Jeff Wilson or Zeke. I want nothing to do with Ezekiel Elliott this week. I would go Jeff Wilson over Ezekiel Elliott. There we go. 160 likes. That is what I'm talking about. Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson. I like Lamar Jackson more than Josh Allen. You're a hero. Thank you for your advice. I got you, man. We are in the championship weekend. And again, if I can't get to your start sit questions, make sure you're using the WalterPicks app to get the information you need to make your start sit decisions. It gives you accurate projections, boom and bust probabilities based on 10,000 simulations of the week. It has been more accurate than ESPN and Yahoo over the last 2 years. So definitely make sure you're leveraging the free start sit comparisons in the WalterPicks app. Gaskin or Bell? I would go Le'Veon Bell over Gaskin. In all formats, Gaskin or Bell, even in a non-PPR league, I would go Bell. Miles Sanders or David Johnson, I would go Miles Sanders over David Johnson. Miles Sanders is up against a horrible run defense, the Dallas Cowboys. Guys, let's see if we can get to 170 likes on YouTube. Hit that like button. Really do appreciate that. Gaskin or Hunt, I would go Gaskin over Hunt. Bell or David Johnson, I would go Le'Veon Bell over David Johnson. Are you doing start sits next week? Yeah, of course. I'm going to be live on YouTube and TikTok again next week. The fantasy football season does not end till the Super Bowl, as far as I'm concerned, because I'm going to be playing DraftKings and FanDuel. So we'll be live for football all the way up to the Super Bowl. Thanks for hitting that like button, Andrew. Really do appreciate that. Deontay, Corey Davis, or Jarvis Landry at wide receiver 2. I would probably lean towards Corey Davis as your wide receiver 2. Thanks for subbing on YouTube, man. I appreciate it. Metcalf or A.J. Brown, and why? I mean, the why is Jalen Ramsey, and that's why I would go A.J. Brown over DK Metcalf. I think that you can confidently be starting A.J. Brown over Metcalf this week. Tonyan or Goddard, I would go Tonyan. David Johnson, Melvin Gordon, or Carson. Melvin Gordon, guys, is a solid option this week. I would go Melvin Gordon there. Bell or Dobbins, I would go Le'Veon Bell over J.K. Dobbins. Herbert or Hurts, there's only 5 quarterbacks I'm starting over Jalen Hurts. It's Aaron Rodgers, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, Kyler Murray, and Patrick Mahomes. That is it. Those are the only quarterbacks I'm starting over Jalen Hurts. Otherwise, trust Jalen Hurts, guys. We're almost at 170 likes on YouTube, guys. Hit that like button. Really do appreciate that. I've been live for 3.5 hours now. It's been a great time. I'm pumped for football on Saturday. God blessed us with football today, guys, and we got to enjoy every single moment of it because the football season, the fantasy season, it's coming to a close very soon. Fournette or Sanders? I like Fournette a little bit more than Miles Sanders, but they are both good options this week. I would go Melvin Gordon over Fournette, though. I like Melvin Gordon more than Fournette and more than Miles Sanders this week. Ayuk or Antonio Brown? I would lean towards Antonio Brown over Ayuk. Given their quarterback situations, I would go Antonio Brown, but I still think both of them are going to do well today. Eagles defense or Cardinals defense? I like the Cardinals defense a little bit more than the Eagles defense. Guys, we're 4 likes away from 170 likes on YouTube. Hit that like button. You could be our 170th like. I like Le'Veon Bell more than Fournette. How much longer are you in Florida? Good question, man. I'm going to be heading home very soon. Probably tomorrow's stream, I'll still be here, and then the next stream you see me, I'll be on the road. Hurts or Kyler? Sub to YouTube. Thanks, man. I would go Kyler Murray over Jalen Hurts. There's only 5 quarterbacks I'm starting over Jalen Hurts. It's Kyler Murray. It is Patrick Mahomes, not Deshaun Watson. It is Kyler Murray, Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, and Aaron Rodgers. That's it. Malcolm Brown or Chris Carson? Definitely Chris Carson. Kittle, Ayuk, Deontay Johnson, Gaskin, or Landry. I would go Ayuk out of all of those guys. Browns defense or Bears defense? The Bears defense is fantastic. So is the Browns defense. The Bears defense up against Mike Glennon. I mean, you got to like the Bears defense a lot. You got to love the Browns defense against the Jets. I'd probably lean towards the Bears defense, though. Kittle or Logan Thomas? I would lean towards George Kittle over Logan Thomas. The only tight ends I'm starting over George Kittle are Mark Andrews, Darren Waller, and Travis Kelce. Otherwise, I'm going George Kittle, even though Logan Thomas is a top 5 tight end. He's number 5 for us right after George Kittle. But even though Logan Thomas is probably going to lead the Washington football team in receiving, George Kittle has the higher touchdown upside. And so I would still go George Kittle over Logan Thomas, but it's definitely close. It is definitely close. And Logan Thomas, guys, over 100 yards last week, led that team in receiving. I mean, he's probably going to do it again. Mike Evans or Jarvis Landry? I would go Mike Evans. You got to love Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, and Antonio Brown today. Tom Brady projected for 350 yards and 3 touchdowns. Allen and Gibson being questionable. Yeah, I'm not sure if they're going to play. We're going to have to wait for further news on both those guys. Thoughts on Russell Gage this week? Yeah, I do like Russell Gage. With Julio Jones out, Russell Gage has been very involved. Guys, we're 4 likes away from 170 likes on YouTube. Really do appreciate everyone that's hit that like button on YouTube and hit that subscribe button as well. We see Matthew Stafford is playing today. Derek Carr is playing today. Both them playing through injuries. We're 2 likes away from 170 likes. Who's going to be that 170th like? Bell or Gaskin? I like Le'Veon Bell. Did we get any free comparisons on WalterPicks? Yeah, we got 30 free start sit comparisons on the WalterPicks app in the iOS App Store. Definitely take advantage of those. And we got a free prop pick today going. Myles Gaskin over 50.5 rushing yards. Lock that one in with confidence, guys. Lock that one in before those games start. That game is tonight. Myles Gaskin over 50.5 rushing yards. Are you starting Arizona running backs? If Chase Edmonds is out, I'm definitely trusting Kenyon Drake. If Chase Edmonds is in, I'm not going to trust either of them. Why Bell over Fournette, Sam? Because Le'Veon Bell is in the best offense in the NFL. That is why I'd go Le'Veon Bell over Leonard Fournette. You could make the argument that Fournette is in the offense projected for more points. They are also a bigger favorite than the Chiefs. So you could make the argument for Fournette over Le'Veon Bell, but to me, Le'Veon Bell's the better receiver and the better runner. So I like Bell more than Fournette, but it's definitely close. What are you doing in the offseason? Well, Noah, we're going to have NBA projections coming up very soon in the WalterPicks app. I've been spending over 2 years building that algorithm, the same process I used for the NFL. So we'll be doing some NBA content, but we're also going to be working full steam ahead, making sure we are fully prepared for our next fantasy football draft. So I'll be working nonstop, getting that NBA projections out and into the public in the WalterPicks app, dominating DraftKings and FanDuel and NBA player props throughout the NBA season. But also we're going to be working nonstop around the clock, getting us ready for the next fantasy football season where we're going to absolutely dominate our leagues next year. Very excited for that. Thoughts on Antonio Brown? I think Antonio Brown's going to have a great day. Guys, we're 1 like away from 170 likes. Hit that like button. Really do appreciate it. Pick 2, Antonio Brown, Gaskin, or Ayuk. I would lean towards Antonio Brown and Ayuk over Gaskin. I think that Gaskin's safer than Ayuk, but Ayuk has the higher ceiling. I like Le'Veon Bell a little bit more than Miles Sanders. Cooper or David Johnson? I would lean towards David Johnson over Cooper. Yes, Kittle is better than Tunyon. I'm glad you appreciate my help, Spencer. It's been a pleasure helping everyone. And we're almost at 2,500 YouTube subscribers, guys. If you want to help us get there, hit my goal that I set for myself this morning. Go subscribe to our YouTube channel. Really do appreciate hitting that subscribe button. That's so weird. My app is broken because it only gave me 2 free comparisons. Well, 30 comparisons if you just downloaded the app, but I think you probably used up a lot of those earlier in the last couple of weeks. But use those 2-star free comparisons wisely. Thank you for the help. Yeah, I'm glad I could help, guys. We are 15 minutes away from football. We are being blessed with football on a Saturday. Not to deserve this, but I'm very, very excited for some football today. I don't know about all of you. Fournette, Jarvis Landry, and Chris Carson. I can only start 2. I would go Fournette and Chris Carson over Jarvis Landry. I would start Antonio Brown over Darrell Henderson for sure. I would start Le'Veon Bell over Kareem Hunt as well. Le'Veon Bell is just going to touch the ball more than Kareem Hunt, and that's really all you need to do to make your start-sit decisions at the running back position. Bell, Chubb, Jacobs, Eckler, Aaron Jones. Geez, you got a stacked team, dude. I would go Nick Chubb, Eckler, and Aaron Jones. Aaron Jones, guys, got to get him in your starting lineup today. He's going to go this week. He's going to go absolutely off with no Jamal Williams playing. I like Le'Veon Bell more than Jarvis Landry. Antonio Brown and Chris Godwin. I would lean Godwin over Antonio Brown. I like him a lot today, but I like both those guys. I think they both can succeed today. Kittle, Ayuk, Deontay Johnson, Gaskin, or Landry. I would lean towards Ayuk out of all of those players. Antonio Brown and Chris Godwin. Again, I would go Chris Godwin there. Yeah, I would start Kittle and go Miles Sanders over Antonio Gibson. Montgomery or Jones? Definitely Jones. Is Devontae playing, and is he a start? I do think Devontae Parker is going to play, and if he is, yes, he is a start. Yeah, the game is over if you played against Alvin Kamara. The second we saw Alvin Kamara step on the field with those cleats, you kind of knew your game was over. Amari or T.Y. Hilton? I would lean towards Amari over T.Y. Hey, Sam, pick 2, A.B., Gaskin, and Ayuk. I would go Antonio Brown and Gaskin. I think Antonio Brown and Ayuk have the highest ceiling. So if you're going for ceiling, it's Antonio Brown and Ayuk. But if you're going for floor, it's Antonio Brown and Gaskin. Godwin, Ayuk, and Kittle, pick 2. I would go Godwin and Ayuk. I don't like starting tight ends over receivers and running backs. PPR, Sanders or Taylor. I like Sanders more than Taylor this week. Guys, hit that like button. Let's get to 175 likes on this YouTube stream. Really do appreciate it. Everyone that's tuned in, thank you for tuning in. Hope everyone had a great holiday. We have football all day today. Very exciting, starting in just 15 minutes. Drake or Wilson. We're 3 likes away from our YouTube stream. And guys, I always end my live streams just on YouTube, trying to get to as many comments as I can in the YouTube chat. The reason I do that, the YouTube chat is a little less spammy than the TikTok chat, which is nice. So I'm going to be logging off on TikTok now. If you want to join the end of the stream, come over to YouTube, hit that like and subscribe button on the YouTube channel. And thanks for everyone who's tuned in on TikTok. Have a great Saturday if you're not going to come over to the YouTube stream. And thanks for tuning in, guys. I'll talk to you all tomorrow. I'll be live tomorrow, 9 a.m., right up until kickoff. So the 4 hours before football, I'll be live tomorrow. So talk to you all then, and we'll see how we did on today's predictions. All right, guys, I'm live just on YouTube. I'm live just on YouTube right now. I'm going to try to get to as many questions as I can. We're only 3 likes away from 175 likes. We can definitely get there. Kittle or Hawkinson? I would lean towards Kittle. Should I start James Robinson or Giovanni Bernard? I would probably go with James Robinson, depending on the reports we see tomorrow. And appreciate everyone that's tuned in. Hit that subscribe and like button. Allen or Brady? I would lean towards Josh Allen. I'm starting Ayuk. I think you can trust him. Hurts or Herbert? I would go Jalen Hurts. Amari, DJ Moore, or Cooper? I would lean towards. Did you just say Cooper twice? If it's Cooper Kupp, I would go Cooper Kupp there. Pick 3: Godwin, Landry, and Ridley. I would go Ridley, Godwin, and Landry. You said pick 3. You gave me 3 players. What are these questions? Robinson or David Montgomery? I would go David Montgomery. Should I start James Robinson or Giovanni Bernard? Again, I would go James Robinson if the reports are that he's healthy. Guys, we're 1 like away from 175. Hit that like button. Really do appreciate it. We can get to 200 likes in the next 15 minutes. I know we can do it. And also, hit that subscribe button if you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel yet. Need help, Sam? Ayuk, David Johnson, Marvin Jones. I would go with Marvin Jones. Marvin Jones, top 3 in the NFL in air yards over the last month. He's got a really high ceiling. Happy Saturday. Who do you like in the games today, Sam? I like the Bucs to win. I don't think they're going to cover the spread, though. I like the Dolphins and the Cardinals to cover the spread today, too. I like both those teams a lot. And again, the free prop pick of the day, Myles Gaskin, over 50.5 rushing yards tonight against the Raiders defense that has allowed over 55 rushing yards to 7 running backs in their last 4 games. Lock in Gaskin, over 50.5 rushing yards today, guys. Hit that like button, who's going to be our 175th like on this YouTube stream. Really do appreciate it. Logan Thomas or Robert Tonyan? I would lean towards Logan Thomas over Robert Tonyan today. Keenan Allen or Cole Beasley? I would go Cole Beasley. I want nothing to do with Keenan Allen. Do I start Brady over Watson? Yes, Tyler. Start Tom Brady today. He's projected for 320 passing yards and 3 touchdowns. You got to love Tom Brady. Guys, 20 likes away from 200 likes. I know we can do it. Hit that like button if you're watching live on YouTube. Really do appreciate it. Do you ever sleep in? Very rarely do I sleep in. I did sleep in yesterday on Christmas morning. I took the day off completely on Christmas, which was nice. But almost always I'm waking up between 4:30 and 6:30 a.m. to get started on my day because I work 2 full-time jobs. I have a lot of responsibilities to get done. Drake or Wilson? I like Kenyon Drake more than Wilson if Chase Edmonds is out. If Chase Edmonds is playing, I like Wilson more than Kenyon Drake. I meant to say pick 2, Godwin, Landry, Ridley. I would go Ridley and Godwin there. Pick 1, Giovanni Bernard, Hunt, McKissick. I would go Giovanni Bernard over Hunt and over McKissick if Antonio Gibson plays. If Antonio Gibson's not playing, then it's definitely McKissick. Hurts or Allen? There's only 5 quarterbacks I'm starting over Jalen Hurts. It's Aaron Rodgers, Kyler Murray, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, and Patrick Mahomes. Other than that, you got to trust Jalen Hurts a lot. Guys, hit that like button. Let's get to 185 likes on this stream. It's been a fantastic stream with you all. I've had a ton of fun. Hit that like button. We got just a few minutes left in this stream. Not going to lie, Sam, I picked the exact opposite teams earlier. Oh, God, Ryan. Well, at least one of us will be right, Ryan? Kyler Murray or Josh Allen? I would go Kyler Murray. Need help, Sam? Ayuk, David Johnson, Marvin Jones. I would go Marvin Jones over both those guys, Zach. Marvin Jones, top 3 in the NFL in air yards over the last month. He really does have upside today. Ayuk, David Johnson. Yeah, Zach, that's who I would go with. Gage or Robinson at flex. I think if it's Robinson, you got to hope that we get more clarity on the injury. But if he's playing and he's at full, it's definitely Robinson. Russell Gage or Cole Beasley. I would go Gage over Beasley. Is Allen going to play? It's unclear right now if Allen's going to play. And CeeDee or Bell. I would like Le'Veon Bell more than CeeDee Lamb today. This week. Le'Veon Bell, guys, he's a top 10 running back option. He's got tremendous upside in this Chiefs offense, the best offense in the NFL. He's going to get the goal line work. He's going to get the receiving work. There's a lot to like about Le'Veon Bell. Guys, let's get to 185 likes. Hit that like button. We're 3 likes away. Who's going to be that 185th like? Really do appreciate it. Do you think DK can have a revenge game against Ramsey? Yeah, I definitely think he can. Need help, Sam? Ayuk, David Johnson, Marvin Jones. Zach, again, I would go Marvin Jones. There's no need to spam in the YouTube chat either. I will try to get to your questions, but I would go Marvin Jones, man. Bell, Chubb, Jacobs, Eckler, Aaron Jones. Yeah, Game Store. I think I answered this one already too. I would go Aaron Jones, Nick Chubb, and Austin Eckler. Parker or T. Higgins for floor. If you're going for floor, it's T. Higgins. I mean, he has had at least 5 targets in every single game this season, and there's no Tyler Boyd this week, excuse me. What did you eat for Christmas dinner? I had a fantastic spread. Honestly, too much to even get into. Gaskin or Jonathan Taylor? I would go Jonathan Taylor over Gaskin, but it's definitely close. And the free prop pick of the day is Gaskin over 50.5 rushing yards. Got to lock that one in with confidence. Guys, we're 2 likes away from 185 likes. Definitely hit that like button. Get us to 185 likes. Really do appreciate it. Takes you 2 seconds. Helps me out more than you probably realize. I would go DeAndre Swift over Giovanni Bernard. Russell Wilson or Baker Mayfield? I would go Baker over Russell Wilson. They've really limited what Russell Wilson's doing over the last few games. So I'm not in on Russell Wilson against this Rams defense. I like Cooper Kupp a little bit more than Ayuk. I like DeAndre Swift more than Giovanni Bernard. I like Logan Thomas over Tunyon. Even if Alex Smith is out, I think I would go Logan Thomas over Tunyon. Guys, we're 1 like away from 185. Who's going to be that 185? Hey, Sam, Kittle is on a snap count. Yes, he is. And I have Hawkinson, and plus I have Cardinals defense. I would still start George Kittle. George Kittle at 80% or 50% is still better than TJ Hawkinson. So I would go Kittle, but given your situation playing Arizona D, I see your argument there. I would still go George Kittle though, guys. All right, I got time for a couple more questions. Really do appreciate everybody that hit that like button and hit that subscribe button. I'm pumped for football all Saturday. Would you start Gaskin today or Robinson tomorrow? I would go Gaskin. Jones or Montgomery. Definitely Aaron Jones. Kupp or Jonathan Taylor. I would go Cooper Kupp this week. Jeff Wilson over Antonio Gibson in a standard league. Jeff Wilson's going to do well today, guys. I like the Cardinals to win. I like the Dolphins to win. I think that the Bucs are going to win as well, but I don't think they're going to cover that spread. WalterPicks is coming to Android, Mario, by the start of the next NFL season latest. It's going to be there by the start of the next NFL season. Guys, thank you for your time. Really do appreciate all of you guys that hit that subscribe and like button. I will be live tomorrow, 9 a.m., right up until the 4 hours before football. I will be live, so definitely tune in then, and we'll have a fantastic stream ready for you. We'll see how I did with my Saturday predictions as well. So have a great day. Enjoy the football on Saturday. Appreciate it, guys. The fantasy season is almost over, and we're almost into the NFL playoffs. So definitely enjoy every single moment of football we have before it ends. Have a great Saturday, guys, and I will talk to you all tomorrow.